This podcast contains adults using adult language. You have been warned.
Looking back on a past where we still had a chance. We were pawns in a game that we could not win.
Did it work? Oh, yay! I think it actually worked. I think all the macros that I plugged in actually worked, and I'm so happy. Yay! Because it's Sunday, and we're going to play Dungeons & Dragons!
Well, I mean, like, if it's Sunday and, like, this is a finale, certainly shit's gonna just stop working here in a couple of minutes.
Well, we'll worry about that.
Any second now.
We'll worry about that when the time
Knock on wood,
comes.
if you have wood available.
So, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Season 2 finale of Team X. Team X is an official franchise of Acquisitions Incorporated with exclusive operating rights in the Chondawood region as they operate out of the town of Pinedale. And that's what we're going to be dealing with today. Now, before we get into the previously on Team X section of the show, we need to go around and do the introductions because, hey, you might have forgotten exactly who everybody is and where we're supposed to be and all those fun things. And I got to fix Clues' camera. Fixed? Okay. So, starting where we always... What just happened?
Where'd I go?
I don't know, but,
You really
You muted your video. She's still there.
No.
there we go.
See, but this is her being chaotic because now I need to move the cameras again. I had everything set up. This is not my fault. This is the best part.
I'm gonna be a very, very large copy.
Ah, there she goes again.
I'm crazy!
Who's extruding it?
Burn everything!
I can't see.
All
I
right.
don't understand.
Okay, never mind.
All right, we got it. So, let us begin with the introductions as everyone is supposed to be in the spot where they are, and we will start with Clues.
Oh, it me.
It you.
It me. I'm Clues, playing Dread My Gem Weaver, Tinker Norm Extraordinaire, and I'm sure that she's gonna get into some magical bullshit at some point today.
Moving along.
Oh, it's my turn. Yes, it's my turn. Hi, I'm Viking Goat. I play Cynic General Shrunk, and he may be in for some confusing times, I think, based on how we ended this last time. We'll see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
That's me.
continuing on.
Yeah,
and
you
that's
were
it.
kind of in a shitty situation.
No, he was in a great situation.
No, we're about. No, it was confusion. Confusion was about to set in, I think.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Perhaps.
moving along.
I am Blind Cleric playing Human Battlemaster Fighter Hugon Valander.
And there you go. Is there anything else we need to...
There's nothing really that needs to be said. I think like Hugon has his own brand of Hugon
Cantankerousness.
Valander Baron. Like it's just you say the name and you know what you're getting.
Cantankery.
Cantankery.
Yes. And last, but by no means least.
Oh, who, me? Oh, hi.
Didn't see you there.
I am Eno, the Tiefling Bard, and I'm high as fuck. I mean, I'm not high as fuck.
Eno is,
Yeah.
I believe the phrase is tripping balls right now, or tripping horns if you're a tiefling. I'm not sure.
Either one.
Either one.
works. Yeah.
We're going to clip that for the highlight reel.
Highlight reel.
So, when we last left our protagonists, they were stopping off in the town of Elboulder on their way to other missions that were going to be far afield. There were some that were potential. There was the plan. They had some errands they were looking to run with stops.
Wait,
at,
we're in Elboulder.
yes.
Yeah, we are.
You know where we're going, right?
Yeah, probably.
There is plans to go to Candlekeep to do some
Okay.
things there. There is plans to go to Waterdeep to do some things there. There is a little issue apparently in the Deseret Valley involving a team that's known as Team X, apparently stirring up some shit there, and that needs to be dealt with. And I don't know. Listen, I just read what they give me. I don't have any control over this. And yeah, so they stopped off in Elboulder with the intent of finding out, getting into more detail, Zedram Kai's dealings there and what his plans were, and trying to unravel some of the plots and plans that he had been putting into place. But it appears that in the absence of Zedram Kai, now that he is safely ensconced in the basement of the keep,
I keep forgetting to
Pinedale.
kill him. I like every time the opportunity arises for me to kill Zedram Kai.
It's like,
I honestly,
Alexa, remind me to kill Zedram
I'm
Kai.
gonna kill Zedram Kai
When would you like this reminder to happen?
at least once every 20.
Until it's done. But during the course of this, it looks like that in his absence, a little bit of a real estate grab is starting to move, trying to fill the vacuum that he is currently left. And some things were discovered. There was talking to various contacts throughout El Boulder, and it seems like there's a couple factions that are now vying for power, for better, for worse. No one's really sure yet. It's, you still got to feel things out. But while there, some things happened. Drenmai contacted one of her acquaintances, business acquaintances, in search of information. In exchange for that, there is the need for Eno to potentially deliver a note to someone in Waterdeep whilst there. Hugon had gone to investigate one of the interested parties in the real estate there, the one that was in charge of the lumbering guild, and had a quite pleasant conversation, actually, with the
Goblin's name.
Can't hear him.
I can't remember. Huh?
Can't hear you. I think his beard's getting in the way. It's.
How about now?
I can hear you good. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I hear you now? Yes. And yeah, pleasant conversation with the goblin guild leader of the lumbering guild. And Eno and Drenmai and Thunuk had decided to go get some food at the inn where they where Team X had originally met.
Oh yeah, we are.
Partook of the stew. Failed constitution checks. And are
That did happen.
currently tripping balls. And as they were going to go wander and go get the note that they needed to go get, in order to go so they could continue along their way, Drenmai wanted to find out who the cook was, because she wanted to be able to replicate this catnip-like effect on people.
Totally need to share this experience with Hugon.
Well, listen, there could be marketing opportunities here, right? You don't know. Savat Loren, your traveling secretary,
Traveling source of complete nuisance.
was also under the influence, but Drenmai just decided to play around and have some fun. But when she was introduced to the cook, she was introduced to a Firbolg, a female Firbolg, who looked an awful lot like Thunuk. There is a familial resemblance.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
And that is where we had left things in that game oh so long ago, pre-PAX 2019.
So very long.
Yeah, 3-4 weeks. It's snuck up. It's something I can't count. Anyway, that is where we lay our scene. Drenmai.
I think if I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna see, like, basically what lady version of Thanuk, basically, Like I'm trying to picture if fearbolgs have like identifying features, if I would know like.
Well, I mean, you figure there's like, I mean, there's familial features. Like, you know,
Okay.
if you were to meet other gem weavers, so this is not like the bee stingers, where anyone could potentially be a bee stinger, which is what makes them so effective, right? Um,
Uh,
this is more like, you know, when the gem weavers are all, for the most part, all related, and
Yes, we are.
I mean, I'm sure there's a few adoptions along the way. Some,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
some stragglers, some strange, you know, genetic offshoots have made their way into the family tree. Some of the
Mhm.
branches might have fallen off. Some were probably quite likely lit on fire, on purpose or by accident. These things happen. But so if
Aunt
you were to meet,
Nelephis went with that goblin one year.
listen, it,
There's always one.
they were in their edge lord emo stage, not
Exactly.
Eno stage. Well, some of them might have gone through an Eno stage. You don't
They
know.
might have gone.
It's around.
Eno's seen some shit, you know.
I've seen some
And
shit.
and
It's
people dig musicians. I mean, listen, it's a thing, right? But you would be able to say, okay, that's a gem weaver.
That's a Thunuk. Okay.
Yeah, that's a Thunuk. Yeah, that's a that is a Thunuk.
It's a Thunuk. So I think I'm not gonna kind of let off any kind of visual response, but I'll probably get like a sense of more comfort with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still really focused on getting this recipe. So I'm gonna kind of pop over, and they're way up there. So I imagine climbing up onto some stool or something to get better attention, and it's like waving the arms. Hey, hey,
this-
hey, listen.
So this fear bulg is like, so we're in this kitchen here. Let's lay the scene. So we're
Fucking Drenmai is Navi from Ocarina
Yes.
of Time. Hey, listen to
Hey,
me. Pay attention to me.
Listen.
I'm
Hey,
tiny and
listen.
aggravating.
Yes, exactly.
so
I'm a complete pain in the ass.
None
so
of these things have her untrue.
No,
yeah, listen,
No.
there have been no denials. We're just saying.
Nope.
So if we're laying the scene, there's this kitchen. The inn is not a huge inn. We're not talking about like this big like boarding house type thing, right? There's not a lot of people that are staying very long. There's trade that comes in and out. There's other places to stay, but the kitchen is not a very large one, and you have a cook who is a very large one. So there's a lot of cramped space. So it's very much, tight moving, things have been placed very carefully just so around the kitchen so that way they're not constantly getting knocked over every time she moves around and goes to grab something. But even still, there is a certain amount of care in her movement as she's moving around. There's lots of smells, lots of fun smells. Of
Not me.
no, not that kind of fun smell. Of things cooking, of bread baking in a stone oven in the corner, of the stew simmering away, of meats roasting. It's a good place.
It's a good place.
If you had a good memory of it, it's kind of like grandma's on Sunday. The kitchen has a smell. Give me a quick perception roll. Wow.
There's a Nana quality to this.
There is a Nana quality to the smell there. Yes, I think that's an excellent way of putting it.
Where's my perception? Sure. I rolled a natural one, so that's a 3.
You
You
notice
fuck
nothing.
up and you set yourself on fire.
Ah!
Yes.
I don't know how, but you did it.
Dren is now
Rats.
the stew.
Rats, kid. Well done.
I'm taking a bath.
But so you climb up on so I imagine it's like you see this Firbolg moving around cooking and doing all the things, and there's like just sort of next to her there's like things are sort of moving and shaking as like Dren's climbing up on them and finally like gets up to a level where she could start, or you could start waving, and like so the Firbolg turns and looks at you.
They must have rolled a better perception than I.
Well, you're sitting there waving And then, hey,
Hey, listen, hey. So my friends just had your stew, and I'm assuming there's like a certain special quality to it. And I've been a patron here for a long time. Would you mind sharing the recipe?
Well, let's start this off with a persuasion check. We need to see if there's a persuasion check here.
14.
14. Hang on a second. I get a chance to use my Norse Foundry dice for the first time. I'm very excited.
Ooh.
Yay.
This chunky D20 here. She says, much apologies, mistress. I don't give that recipe out.
Why?
It's a family recipe, and it's all I have left of my family, so I have to keep it with me.
Oh wow!
You don't say.
Brian bringing out the sads.
Do I know where Thanook is currently?
You know that Eno and Thunuk were on their way back to the, or I think we had left it where they had actually gotten the note from your buddy.
Yeah, I think we came back with her.
Okay.
Oh, did you? Yeah. So they're still.
I think so.
Yeah. So they're out there. They're out there doing their whole tripping balls thing out in the room, and there's still. I imagine. So where we had left it was that you were setting off like sparkles and all sorts of like stimuli.
Oh yeah. I distracted them highly.
Where
Yeah, you were contributing to an awful acid trip experience.
or a good one. But I imagine it's sort of like you just sort of let it go and walked away. Like if they like it's kind of like muffled and quiet in the kitchen with all the sounds and everything. But if like every time the door opens a little bit, like it's just sort of like this chaotic set, like this chaos happening directly outside the door. With like every time it's open, there's like random fireworks exploding. You've got Eno kind of like randomly like wandering around and like doing the whole like ecstasy thing, and Thunuk is in equal parts too quiet and too loud, and Savat's kind of like just sitting there trying to like pet everything.
Yes.
It's just
Lots of fluffy things have appeared.
mm-hmm.
Then I'm not even gonna bother going out there. I'm just gonna get on the intercom because it'll add to the amusement when voices start talking to them out of nowhere. I'd be like, "Hey, hey, listen!"
Little thaumaturgy.
Look,
oh, that I thought we were okay. Oh God.
Nope. They're wherever they've stashed that particular thing. They're gonna start hearing voices.
The Rocky
Hey,
Talkies.
Hey, listen. Yep. I need you in the kitchen. Thanook. Hey, listen. Kitchen.
is Thunuk still lack of volume and modulation control?
Well, let's do a Constitution check and find out, shall we?
Okay.
I don't know what my volume is.
I'm having trouble controlling my emotions.
Hold on, I don't remember what my Constitution thing in particular is. Oh, it's a +2. 8.
Ooh.
Ooh, no.
Son,
Hang on, I gotta look
That's
something
not
up now.
that's a bad.
That's a bad number.
This new one only rolls high or low, no in betweens.
It only rolls high or low when you're doing dumb shit, is what it does. I'd like to attack the assassin leader. I rolled a 20. Well, he ignores your 20.
Ooh. Okay.
I
So because of that roll, let us add a little emotional incontinence to this.
Oh no.
I don't know how to roleplay that. Okay.
No, it's just you go from all right, so let's put it this way.
You're gonna mood swing like crazy.
Mood swing, well it goes oh, there's actually a chart. Never mind, I'll get that table later. You can't help but find things funny, like everything.
How funny.
Well, that's
You're
where it's
that
gonna.
drunk
That's
frat guy
kind of
right
that's
now.
gonna be a bit of a roller coaster for you. Like some things, it's gonna be like baseline is you've got the giggles. You're at that stage, right?
Okay.
Where you've got the giggles, but it's like things that are like not funny are like, okay, the meter goes up. Things that are actually funny, and then things that it just, it's disproportionate to how funny it is. So,
Okay.
let's get another
Makes
Constitution check from you as
so
well.
many fart sounds and stuff.
I rolled
This
a
is gonna
1.
be a great family union.
No.
Oh boy.
So that's a 3.
Okay. So in addition to being able to hear the colors and see the sounds, which is where we were before,
Mm-hmm.
you are sure that you have figured out a way to combine the different planes of reality. You're pretty sure that you figured out. You couldn't explain it. And it's weird because it was always there. It was always there. It was so simple for you just to take the two different planes of reality and just mesh them and see all the hidden undercurrents that are right there for you to see.
Are we talking about only 2 planes of reality, or are we talking about
No,
celestial,
man.
demonic?
You're
the
seeing
shadow
how
realm,
it all,
like all of them?
fits together, man.
Yay!
And part of it is you think you're seeing, like, it looks like there's thread all over the floor. Like, not thread, like, so thin, like, for sewing, but not thick, like a big piece of rope. Kind of more like string, I guess, a little bit thicker than string. Almost yarn-like, I guess, like a thicker yarn. But you see it draping everything. And what you learn from this, you think you could probably follow and see how things are connected, but man, everything's connected.
So Eno starts using prestidigitation to clean up 1 cubic feet at a time of the floor.
To create order from the chaos?
Yeah, like I'm trying to clean the yarn up off the floor. So like I'm using prestidigitation to like clean their entire floor, basically.
As you go to try to use this prestidigitation, as you try to move it, you can see you're able to kind of like detangle it. You can't like pick it up because it's all over the place, but you're able to start getting rid of the rat's nest, where instead of it just being clumped, and like you're able to start like making order of it. And Thunic, you see Eno like, well, what does it look like when Eno casts prestidigitation?
Like I feel like I've got my flute out,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just like going doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo. And then like just sort of like this sort of like, I don't know, like an invisible wind sort of comes out of the flute and onto the floor.
So Thunic, you see like Eno playing the flute at the floor, like looking, taking another step, more flute, looking, a few more steps. And you find this hilarious.
Oh man. Okay, hold on.
Because you do not see string on the floor. You just see him, like every now and again there's like motes of dust that are being pushed out of the way.
I can't make the sound. I'm trying to do the skrinky sort of. I can't try to stifle a laugh sound.
Let me give you some inspiration. So it's yeah. This is how it all works. This is how it all works. And like yeah, it's all.
There's a red one.
You gotta pull
There's a
apart.
green
You gotta
one.
pull
See all the
apart.
colors.
Okay, it's all coming together now. Wait,
But you can see that they have like different textures and colors, and it's like you're to put this in a modern context. Do you think that you might be able to organize this into some kind of like wiring harness where it's like, oh no, I know we're all. I finally get it. It's so
and
disorganized.
I keep looking back at Thunuk and say, "Do you see it? Do you see it? It's all right there." And it's yeah, man, you see it too, yeah.
That's a very silly way of dusting the floor.
Yeah, it's all we're all dust, man. We're all dust. We're all made of dust. That's part of it, man. You know, and you know. You know. You know?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Nobody really does.
I'm gonna come out, and because they're taking far too long,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see just Thunuk busting a gut over Eno. Oh, and I'm getting so much pleasure out of this. Even though I have like a thing in mind, I'm gonna cast Spider Climb onto Eno and then just go back in the kitchen. And then I'm gonna wait. So Eno can essentially walk on anything and crawl on anything. He can walk on the ceiling if he wants to.
Oh, great.
Well, it's gonna make
All
cleaning a
things-
lot easier.
So, yeah, you can start following the thread that's going
Okay.
up the wall, and you can keep going, and you can go upside down on the ceiling.
But the best part of this is that there's a part of Eno that doesn't know if it's actually happening.
True.
Am I actually climbing the wall right now?
Yeah, you do not know her.
Or is it all in my mind, man?
That's awesome. Yeah.
And Thunuk, you see Eno like one step at a time, like just climbing up.
So as he's backing up, he hits a wall, backs up the wall, hits the ceiling, backs up the ceiling.
Yeah, the gravity just sort of shifts, you know, so it's kind of like, you know, you know, he's
Thunuk is laughing so hard now that he is beginning to roll on the floor, like not like full on down around, but like just a little bit like this. He's trying very hard not to kick the floor while laughing. But there's a couple of every so often a couple of bumps here and a bump there.
I'll just be peeking through the door because I'm amused.
I have no idea how you're doing that, but that's really funny.
But Thunuk, you do vaguely remember Drenmai making a call over the walkie-talkie. Vaguely. There was a lot going on.
I pick my wrist up to my face and I look at the walkie-talkie, and these stones are hilarious and they're just so freaking ridiculous.
We're talking to a rock.
I hit the button. I'm pushing a freaking stone and I'm making sound. This is so weird.
I'll click
Did you
back.
say
I'm
something?
We're like, yeah, because this goes to everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're broadcasting in the clear right now.
Somewhere. So, since Hugon has it listening somewhere, then I'm also gonna be like, yeah, Thunuk, come to the kitchen, please. Hey, Hugon, you're needed here too.
No, I don't think I am. Goodbye.
He just hears it and you're like, no. And quite frankly, at this point, you're probably hearing stuff happening like a couple blocks away. It's like you hear like random noises in the background. You're like,
Oh, well, there are fireworks going on.
This is like, yeah, no, I know that sound.
This is one of the situations where the less involvement Hugon has, the safer everyone is going to be. It's critical that Hugon not be present for this, because there will be problems.
It is critical he not play a role in this.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thunuk stands up and sort of giggle staggers to the kitchen.
Have you ever found like walking funny? Because this is good.
Yeah.
Like, dude, feet, really?
I mean, babies find feet fascinating.
He puts his foot down on the floor. It's like, this is shoes on your feet.
Wait, does Thunuk wear shoes?
Sometimes.
Okay, I was gonna say, does he see like his little toesy woesies going everywhere?
He's wearing shoes.
Okay.
He does wear shoes. It's just that they aren't like Like some people buy shoes. Thunuk doesn't buy shoes so much as just repurpose others' shoes. He's just like, we walk on things to walk, and then we walk on the things to walk.
Eno's right above you on the ceiling. Yeah, man, we're all walking. We're all walking towards our destination.
That would be scary. Like, crawling across the ceiling, like turning down, like, yeah. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
It's like when you take there's someone who did a supercut of Home Alone, but instead of making it like playful, they put like horror music to it, and it turns like they turn it into like Kevin McAllister becoming like an absolute sociopath. It's kind of like that. Were it not for the drugs, this would be really freaking terrifying. But no, it's actually kind of funny. The context matters, man.
I just want somebody to walk by and then Eno's got his horn things going on and just get hooked by the horns because they weren't paying attention.
He's walking in there, Savant, just like. So Thunuk, you make your way to the kitchen, and you open the door, and there in front of you is your sister, Kat. Whom you have not seen for...
What is her name?
Kat.
At least 30 years.
Okay, how do you spell it?
Well, the way I have it spelled here is K-A with an umlaut T. Kat.
Okay.
I don't know if that's just how I knew that it was like that "ot" sound instead of a cat.
Okay, I couldn't like perceive the word, like the end of that sentence. I heard "ka" and then I was like,
Kat.
a couple of letters that could be.
And it's kind of like a choked
are
T.
very not good.
It's like a choked T, like a "cot." Kind of.
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah.
Now I've heard the spelling. I'm okay. Okay now.
Who, yeah, you have not seen her in decades, probably since you left or you started your training with your teacher, if I remember correctly. And but yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll allow things to unfold as they will.
I collapse on my knees. I grab the door frame. I point.
Trent's in the corner.
and Kat does not have that reaction. But it's almost like all of the care that she was using to move around this kitchen is thrown out the window. And it is a charging bull, or charging Firbolg in this case, moving through this kitchen like at an unearthly speed. First of all, Dren, let's get a dexterity save.
Meanwhile, in my head, Piccolo screaming, "Dodge!
Dodge!"
17.
Okay, you're able to move out of the way of this moving wall of a giantkin. And she comes charging through Thunuk and pretty much tackles you to the ground in a sisterly embrace. Like, just like tackle, hug, and it's just like, and she's pretty much having the exact opposite emotional response. Like, this is more tears of joy, but tears. And she just keeps saying, "They told us you were dead. They told us you were dead. They told us you had died."
Thunuk is laughing now as well, and tears are basically pouring down his face, and he's having such a hard time catching his breath.
Give me another Constitution check, because I feel like there could be that, you can be shocked into sobriety.
Your sobering moment.
I'm going to say probably not. That's a 10.
Not quite. No, not quite.
You are absolutely
Ah.
rolling like a champion.
Bardic
today,
inspiration. Bardic inspiration. I was saying bardic
Ooh,
inspiration,
bardic
but I was muted.
inspiration.
Bardic
Okay,
inspiration.
what is that?
Before he said not quite, I said bardic inspiration. but
Okay,
Okay.
so what does that do again? I forget. I don't use
you
it.
get
Get
a D8.
advantage. Oh,
No,
you,
you
get
get
a
it.
D8
You get a
Cool.
D8.
All right, so that was 10 plus.
I need to hear the excuse of what like Eno
Mhm.
is doing on the ceiling to inspire.
So Eno's like trilling out, and then he hears like this like commotion in the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, yes, that's what it's all about. He's like pointing at like because he probably sees like now are the doors to the kitchen like is there like a way to view over the doors?
Sure.
Yeah, so like they're like kind of half doors. That's what I'm picturing. Like it's a kitchen with like
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I see him getting tackled, and they're like all like emotional and stuff. Like, yes, that's what it invokes. It invokes emotion. So did you win?
13?
That would be enough.
Okay.
You feel, you still feel that drunk / high / catnip feeling, but it's to the point where because now that you're aware of it, you're able to kind of like, all right, no, be cool, man. You know, you could kind of like rein it in a little bit. You're still feeling
It's like when you're a kid and you think everything's funny, and your mom's like, "No, this is serious time." And you're like,
You're right. It's not. It's not fucking.
"It's so funny." You step on your own foot to make it not funny.
Yeah. You're able to rein it in enough where now you could probably have an emotionally appropriate response to seeing your sister, whom you have not seen in 3 decades.
As Seneca sort of semi-hyperventilating to keep control. Who said I was dead? Hi? Hot? Hot. Hi. How have you been?
Better. Now.
Okay.
Where have you been?
I was with teacher, learning about the 4.
They told us you had died.
Who, what? I think I'm not. Hold on. Pokes himself a couple. No, do undead feel pokes? Do undead feel pokes? Am I alive? Am I alive,
I think you're alive, therefore you are, man.
What is life, man?
Is?
And then I play my flute at you, and like it cleans a little bit of your fur.
The hair sort of combs itself.
Yeah, exactly.
little like a little dirt, some moss, works its way out.
Little spit curl pops in.
Turns out he's a blonde the entire time. No idea. Just. And she says, well, let me ask you this, Thonic, what languages do you speak?
Oh, giant Sylvan, I think.
Mhm.
Let me double check real quick. These things are written down.
No,
for
but
a
that's
reason.
what I needed to know.
Okay.
It dawns on you that she is speaking to you exclusively in giant. And she says, the masters told us that you had died.
What masters? To to who?
The hang on, I want to make sure I get the right word here. Hang on. I said, hold on, damn it.
No, I want everything now. Give it to me. Give me the information.
Where am I looking for the not them?
All right, there, Baruka.
Shoot, where are they? Oh, she goes, the Steinjoten. Which
The what?
Well, Thunic would
Why
understand.
were you?
Thunic would
Why were you
understand.
hanging out? Why would you hang out with them?
Oh, okay. So Thunic does understand. She goes, yes, the Stein.
Yes.
She goes, they took us.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. That. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I thought you left and didn't come back. Um.
Well, technically that's true.
Well, no, I thought you left me and didn't come back on
No.
purpose. Oh. Oh.
No.
Oh. Okay. Um. Well, where's everyone else? Are they? Did they take them too?
Everyone. They're still up in the mountains.
Hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Parsing.
Mm-hmm. Um.
And she's
Okay.
still so right now, Eno and Dren, she's speaking exclusively in this like
Yeah, something I don't understand.
yeah, this language.
That's fine. I'm gonna root around the kitchen then while they're having an emotional moment.
I'm
Oh.
finding all the stuff.
This is all about me. If they're distracted, I'm gonna go find me.
This is all part of the plan. Eno, give me a quick perception check.
Oh, that's terrific.
But I'm going to
Doesn't
give you
sound-
advantage on that perception check
Oh, nice. All right.
because right now
Oh,
you're
that's
in.
worse.
Bardic inspiration yourself, quick.
Well, I got an 8.
That doesn't help you. You're still trying to sort through. You're like somewhere in the ceiling right now.
Hmm.
Trying to like as you're sorting through these different threads, you think you might eventually be able to parse out exactly what they're connecting to, and what they and like start to actually codify it. But right now, there's just so much, man. This is like it was
It's
just so
just-
simple. Why didn't you do this before?
So I'm gonna also cast Mage Hand to
Mhm.
help me sort through the threads, like just help me sort through faster. So there's like a third hand now
Just
that's,
randomly
like,
sorting
floating
through.
around. It's like floating around on the ceiling, and
Or
I'm
is
like
it-
going, yeah, that one.
Or is
over
it like
there.
yarn,
And
where
the
it's like
mage
you
is
got the
like-
hands that are like as you're you know they do the where they're trying to like get the yarn from.
Cat's cradle.
No, not cat's cradle. If you've got the one person who's sitting there where they're trying to like, they have like the skein of yarn, and the other person has it wrapped
Oh,
around their hands.
yeah.
Like it's like keeping
Sure.
it. Like you're here. Hold this one. All right, now hold this one over here. I need more arms. I need. It's like on the horns. Like you're using like the horns are using as separators. Like everything
Mhm.
that no one else can see.
Is this basically like an ethereal? I just had the word there and it went away. Conspiracy board.
Like, yes, but exponentially more. Where
Wow.
it's just it's draped
Wow.
everywhere. It's everywhere, man. But everything is
This would
connected.
kill my OCD incredibly.
Listen, the world's a complicated place. If we saw how everything was interconnected, like for real, it would be like not only would be a much more peaceful world, but there'd be a lot of people very, very itchy. God, it makes the underside of my skin
Dred
itch.
would love this.
But,
Dred would love the amount of chaos that is seeing right now. Clues hates it.
but, and
Let it never be said that we are our own characters.
That's true.
and
We truly role play this.
and she says, no, it's a story for another time, but we meant to come back for you. We couldn't. But I was finally able to. I don't know if they let me go or if I was just able to go. No one stopped me, so I'm assuming I was allowed to go. But I went back to where we left you with teacher and you weren't there. So I came here.
When was that? When like when did that happen? Was it recent that you
2
were?
seasons ago?
Oh, I think teacher died. I think master died. I think he died.
You think he died?
I think he died. I had a funeral, so I think he died.
Well, if you had a funeral,
Um,
then he has to be dead, right? Because we don't do funerals for people who are alive.
Well, I did one because I think he died.
Oh, just in case.
Yes,
Well, it's good to be
just in case.
careful. It's
It is
'cause
very.
it's better. Yeah, it's better.
Uh, we um hmm, we should get.
Oh, you're still not feeling well. How long's it been since you've had the stew? The last time, not this time, but the last time.
When was the last time you saw me?
Oh. Oh no. Oh no 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 no.
I think then.
That's.
I think yeah, I think then.
I understand now. I can help. Should I help?
I think I'm fine. My friend up there is acting weird. He's cleaning with his flute.
Yeah, at this point, I have like come into the kitchen on the ceiling, and I'm trying to clean the kitchen ceiling.
So, Drenmai, describe for me what you are doing.
I'm rooting around like a little rat, basically, right now. I'm searching for these
No,
mushrooms.
that's not. You're not like a rat. You're Dren. That's an insult to rats.
I have in my head. I have a scene from Empire where Yoda crawls into Luke's stuff and starts going through like his stuff and is like throwing stuff out.
Yeah, you just see
Mine!
kind of
I'm
thing.
fucking with your shit.
Yeah.
And R2 tries mine. You know. Give me a. Well, what? So this would be an investigation roll, I think.
Mm-hmm.
An investigation roll.
Oh, yeah. 22.
Oh.
I'm rooting like crazy. It's like my instincts kick in.
Yes.
Like, follow the nose. Mushroom.
So what exactly is it that you're looking for? Let's see how this is going to play out. And
Well, I didn't freak out with the stew and stuff, so I was able to figure out that the mushrooms were the
okay.
key ingredient, as it were, and that's what I'm like. Fine, if she doesn't want to give me the recipe, I just need to find which kind of mushrooms they are.
You find a box.
What's in the box?
The box is locked.
Oh, that doesn't matter. What do I
But
have to do?
the-
Lightning bolt. Shabang! In a
but
Liberal uses of Eldritch Blast can do wonders if you have that.
listen, there is very few problems in this world that Fireball cannot solve. The box is locked. This is it looks like an ebony box.
Okay.
It's heavy. It's about the size of one of those tea boxes you see in restaurants.
Okay.
So it's about, I guess about 12 to 16 inches wide, about 10 inches deep. Looks like it's hinged, very nicely made. It looks like some kind of runes carved into the top and around the outside of it. Yes, but you have a lock on there and you can't seem to open it. But it is where the smell of the mushrooms is coming from. And you think there's some other herbs in there as well.
I need a fate die. I love being a chaos character. Okay. I'm gonna do the little kid a Christmas present. I'm gonna shake the shit out of it. Do I hear thunking? Like,
oh, there's stuff in there.
like there's organic stuff, or is there any metallic sound? Like, is this a thunk or is this a kang?
It's more of a thunk,
Okay.
not a
So
kang.
I'm
It's,
thinking-
there's no kang, only thunk.
Okay, one more fate die. Ooh, again. Okay, so I'm gonna bring it and I'm gonna climb down and I'm gonna go right in between Thunuk and his sister that are having this super serious conversation, and I'm gonna kind of raise it up over my head since I'm super short. I'm gonna shake it, be like,
Oh, so you're not even trying to be
What's-
sneaky.
no,
I thought-
that's why I have the fate die. Am I gonna try and stealth this shit out, or am I just gonna go confront the issue?
So again, I'm seeing like, again we have Thunuk and Kat having a conversation, and then there's like this box that sort of pops up underneath them, Muppet like.
Yeah, and it might be. It's probably only gonna reach to like their stomach level, but I'm gonna hold it up and I'm gonna shake it and be like, "What's in it?" Like super intent, staring eye to eye that I can with Kat, and being like, "Yeah, what's in here?"
Give me another perception check. And again, I'm going to give you avantage with this based on your current state of seeing the world for what it is, man.
I got a 12 and an 11, so a 12 plus 2 is 14.
Okay. You think you figured out not only are there threads, because it was as Dren like left the kitchen, right?
Okay.
You finally had a control group. Before, it was just, listen, you're out in the common room of an inn. Yeah, everything's connected. But then you went to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And when Dren left, some of the threads were being drugged with her. Like they were somehow, like they'd sort of disappeared into this invisible point on her, deep within her, probably deep within her soul, right? Because that's where we're all really connected. But a bunch of the strings went with her. Kind of like if you have someone who has like a microphone with them as they walk around, their cords drag, but they have a whole bunch of them, right? And she walks out, and so you're able to suss out that not only do some of these strings apply to people, but you notice that some of these strings are attracted or attached to events.
So like is like he's got his hand up, and he's like, "Whoa!" And the mage hand zooms over and lands on the box that Dren is holding. So now there's a mage hand on top of the box that you're holding.
So Dren holding the box up, mage hand on top of that. Thunuk, you do recognize. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You. Oh, okay. Thunuk, you recognize the box. This is your family units. Because I don't remember. Firbolg, did they refer to their groups as tribes? Or I think it was like an extended family unit, right? Yeah, you are muted.
It's effectively a very extended family unit.
Okay. This is your family unit's apothecary box. That every family unit, there's jobs. People have jobs. Mm-hmm. This is how the family works. There's things that everyone does, but certain things require different training. Your training was supposed to be in learning more about the Force. You could eventually return to your family unit and fulfill the duties of being essentially a priest of the Four. Because a family unit needs that, right? Every flock needs its shepherd. But every I don't know if there'd be like every tree, every forest needs its arborist. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. Someone who knows about things knows that there's times to cut things and when to.
There's an ecological web also with family.
Yes, there is. But one of the jobs was like a herbalist, beyond like the normal herbalism that most Firbolg know just from their communing with nature. There's like a higher level of that. A higher level, a ceremonial level, where they use the deep herbs.
So you're telling me that Dren is taking a religiously sacred object to...
No, not religious. It's not a religiously sacred object as much as it is it's a family heirloom, which she hasn't broken.
Thing.
It's what? Yeah, it's more like that.
Cultural thing.
Yeah, it's a symbol. It serves a specific purpose, but it's the herbalist. There are herbs that are used during religious ceremonies, But that's not the only reason to use the herbs. There's just certain herbs that are used very specifically in specific circumstances.
And
For
Drin's shaking it like it's a present on Christmas.
well,
That might be a puppy.
no, it's not that because it didn't yip when she did that. And you got to figure Fearbowl probably
But
make
like
things.
she's like going full Tuscan Raider on this damn box. Like, what's this?
And they well, listen, Fearbolg may make things that are meant to be abused a little bit, just because, listen, accidents happen. But there's also reasons to use the herbs for like certain social ceremonies. Like at Thanksgiving, we have turkey. Well, there's specific meals that are prepared for certain ceremonies and certain holidays or certain days and seasons, and sometimes those seasons require specific seasonings. And that's one of the jobs of the herbalist. But here you go. You've got Kotz. You and Kot are sitting there, and she looks down and she goes, "Is she yours?"
Uh, she's my coworker.
Coworker. And
I
coworker,
have a
you have
job.
to. And coworker, you have to say in common because there is no word
Oh yeah.
in giant for coworker. And she's like, You got a job?"
Well, I mean, yes. There was a piece of mail for Master, and apparently he was obligated to do some things, and because he couldn't do it, I became obligated to do some things according to the letter. So I have a job.
So, but are they yours?
I don't own them.
Does she own you?
No,
Hey,
no, no.
this. What's in here?
Hey, they're talking giant.
Are they
No, it
not
does.
giant?
Yeah, they're still in giant. The only word
They
was.
are. I'm
Yeah.
not being paid attention.
No, but she's still like, yeah, she, hey, pay
Hey,
attention.
I'm a big enough narcissist that no one's paying attention to me.
There you
Yes.
go. Fair enough.
I'm the most important thing to me right now.
Yes.
And so now like Dren's doing the thing like just poking you like, just poking you with it like pushing it into you, like kind of like when a dog really wants your attention, they keep on jamming the bone into your into your hand or
If
into
you're
your.
not gonna pay attention to me, I'm gonna blow it up.
And feel like
Wait,
this
did
is
she
probably
say
something.
that? Did she say that?
No.
Okay.
It's just you can tell like I'm probably getting visibly frustrated because, that narcissistic side of Trent. It's like, question. Yeah. My arms are probably getting tired.
He's like, okay, hold on a second.
Well, no, the mage hand's helping hold it up.
I'll explain what coworker is in a moment, and then he turns to Dren.
Mhm.
Okay, that's an important family heirloom. Don't shake it like that.
Pull it down. Okay. What's in it?
Ritual herbs and stuff and medicines.
Is there one that makes you trip out? And I point to Eno. Up.
Well, I mean,
But I think it's like you point up to Eno, but Eno's like upside down and actually like at head level with the other two Fearbolg.
Yeah.
Oh, that is a good point. Maybe, but it's really not meant for. Why do you ask?
I'm gonna turn around and look at Thanuk's sister, be like, "Did you use something in here, all my friends, and your brother?"
And she says, "Yes."
So why are you using ritualistic mushrooms on my friends?
Because they.
I'll let you pass on this, only if you tell me which ones they are.
I like how we're climbing the roller coaster like uphill thing, like to like being incredibly offensive to somebody who would literally eat you.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
how far
as-
can I go?
As we've established, not everyone, everything is food. Everyone is food. Give me another persuasion check.
Okay, persuasion. What is my persuasion? Am I shitty
Persuasion.
persuasion? I have nothing to persuasion.
As you should not, because you're an awful person. Dren is an awful person, not
Yeah,
not
yeah, that's-
clues. Not clues. Dren is an awful person.
Flat 16.
Flat 16. Kat turns to you, Thunic, and says, "Is it okay that I tell her?"
Yeah, I don't think there'd be any harm in it. She'd probably try a bunch of dumb stuff that could hurt people otherwise. So we should probably just tell her to prevent, having to deal with it later.
It's a goddamn miracle you haven't been attacked yet.
I know.
And she says, "Here, can I just?" And she's like reaching for it. "Can I just? So I'll show you, but I need to." So she puts it down on the table and very deftly is able to open this. You're not sure.
I am intently watching how she opens it.
Oh. That would be perception versus her attempt to hide it.
Perception. What's my perception? 6.
Oh, no, you're not able to see.
I'm too short.
Yeah, and big hands,
Yeah.
But she's able to open this box up, and inside it's, got the different dividers of varying sizes where the herbs are kept. And when it opens it, it's that smell of like a tea box opening, a lot of different mixed herbs and spices and everything like that. And she points out this very tiny, like even for you, this mushroom is like maybe an inch high. And it is this muddy, earthy brown color. And it looks
I'm
a
gonna
little...
take out like a pocket sketchbook and like
and it
drawing
looks,
it.
So it's got... So we're gonna draw a picture with words right now.
We are.
It is about an inch tall. The cap is long, not wide. It's not like one of those big flat mushrooms. It's actually one of those kind of tall mushrooms.
Okay.
And it's very wrinkled all along the outside cap. But you can also see in there, it looks like little, within the cap's little wrinkles, little, almost like a fungus growing in it, like a yellowish kind of spore-like substance.
That's gross.
With, well, like it's like sprinkled, almost looks like pollen trapped inside.
Still gross.
With little orange threads.
Okay.
Little orange threads in there. It smells dank. It's... I'm sorry. Dang. Because the K is silent.
Don.
Dong.
Don.
It is Don. No, it is dank. And she shows this one and she says, and it's tiny, especially in her hand. It's like, she goes, "If you ever come across one of these, you have to be very, very careful, because unless you're used to it," and then she just points up.
The narrator, she was not careful.
Yeah, he just upside down. Give me another perception check here.
Perception.
Why anyone ever trusts you with anything?
It's a 3. So that's a 5.
The only thing...
Perception by Calvin Klein.
The only thing you see is, with these mushrooms, is that there are tons of threads coming out of them. There's a lot of intersections with these mushrooms here. But that's about all you can really pick up. There's too much confusion. Right. There's too much happening here. She goes, "But if you ever do find these, you have to make sure that you don't use too many, because this is like best case scenario. It only goes downhill from here."
I'm noting all of this and getting increasingly excited. There's new experiments to be had. Yeah.
in my head canon, there's just a lot of shared facial expressions between Drenmai and Trapta from She-Ra. There's just a lot of unbridled excitement.
It's just pure joy, like kid on Christmas.
So she
You
goes,
just give Indren like a new toy.
She goes, should I She looks up at you. She goes, "You're seeing the threads, aren't you?" And she says that in common.
How did you know?
He's seeing the threads. Thunuk, he's seeing the threads.
I don't remember what that
Everywhere.
means.
You don't remember? Oh no. Okay.
I was 10.
I was a wee little lad.
You. Yes.
And for the folks at home, Furbolg 10 is basically like human 4.
Little baby, 4-year-old Thunuk, head's too big, eyes too big, you know.
But still like 6 foot tall.
Yes. Fun pop Thunuk, you know. Just what is it? You know, like little bobblehead.
Funko
You know?
Pop.
Funko.
Yeah, yeah. Chibli. It's Chibli Thunuk.
Chibi.
Chibi, yeah.
Chibi. Chibi.
Chibi. So she says, Should I do you want help?
I mean, I can't get them all.
You'll never get them all. No, you'll never be able to get them all.
Never?
There's too many.
It's not Pokemon.
Do you know how much of everything there is? All of it.
It is. It's a lot.
Because it's not just here.
Lot.
It's not just here.
It's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That makes sense now. It's
everywhere, right?
Wow. Yeah, I need help.
Well, that's the first step.
Okay.
And she pulls out another, like on the opposite side of this box, she pulls out what looks to be like a very dark green, almost black, dried. It looks like a dandelion leaf, kind of like that. Ridge. You know, it's got the jagged edges and all that. And she pulls one out. She crumples it up. She chews on it a couple times. You know, gets to the right consistency, pulls it out, and she goes, "Here, chew on this."
Thanks. And he reaches down.
Yep.
Like he stands on the ceiling and he's like halfway.
Yeah, it's like pretty much right here to here, like just upside down. You know, just
yeah. Like, thanks. And I grab it and I start chewing on it.
Give me a Constitution check, not a saving throw, but a check.
Oh, a check.
A check.
Con check.
1 2 1
right.
2.
That's a 12.
You start to feel the effects of the mushroom wearing off. And as you do that, you can see the threads all start to fade, almost like the after image of a flash of light, as they all start to fade as the drugs wear off, for lack of a better term.
Right. But how long does the spider thing last?
It's a good question, Drenmai.
Last an hour or so.
An hour?
We've got lots of time.
So I'm now like laying on the ceiling, like looking, like I'm just like,
There's a lot to reflect upon here.
Yeah.
But the world seems to lose a little bit of its color. Little more drab than it was before. You know, it's the same that it was before. It's back to its baseline, but man, in comparison, it's kind of a little bit of a letdown. A little bit of a letdown. You got a lot to think about. Because you've seen some things. And some stuff. Hugon. It appears that the chaos quotient has gone down from the direction of the inn.
Oh no, it hasn't.
It's gone onto a low simmer.
No, I was gonna say because Dren's next mood was gonna go call Hugon again, and over the intercom, he's just gonna hear a certain whistle playing.
A certain no, he brought the chair with him. He
Oh,
brought.
he took it?
Yeah, he brought the bar stool. That's his bar stool. He brought the bar
It's
stool.
my bar
with him.
stool. Yeah, my bar stool stays with me while I'm in Elboulder.
He's got an equipment slot directly for it, just right here.
Yeah,
But it only becomes.
you know how like inventory, it's like main hand, offhand, shield. There's like a trinket slot, and it's Hugon's.
But that slot only opens up when in Elboulder.
When in Elboulder.
After that, the slot gets grayed out. You
Oh,
can't.
that's perfect.
Yeah. But you're having now. Unfortunately, in my notes, I don't have the. I do not have the name of the goblin that you were speaking with. Why don't I have
Well,
it?
Drat.
No, that wasn't her name. Damn it. Anyway, we'll come back to that. The name at this very moment is not as important as the fact as she was telling you about some of the, you guys were negotiating about keeping the peace, trying to keep order.
And also making sure that some sort of administrative power friendly to the Acquisitions Incorporated came into being here in Elboulder.
And she did reveal that Sahir, who is the innkeeper where you had initially all met.
Yeah, related to Sahar in
that he was part of the land grab as well, and possibly had a competing faction.
So, in speaking about this land grab, do we know who the principal players are? Is that something that she would know?
Well, you could always ask. You would have to try to.
Okay, I wasn't sure if we had discussed it last
She
time
had
we played as well.
mentioned. So she had mentioned that she herself. It was very. So the conversation was in very oblique terms and hypotheticals.
As necessary.
Yeah.
Necessary.
Yeah, because you don't want the feds to get anything, right? So it was very oblique terms, but you get the impression that there is a rivalry between her and Sahar.
Sahir or Sahar?
So Sahir is the innkeeper at the Silvered Harrier. In
Oh, okay.
Pine Bowl.
I had it reversed.
Sahar
is not here. She's there.
Yeah, Sahar is not far. He's right over there. So yeah, and Drenmai knows that they are brother and sister. It wouldn't take much to figure out that they were fraternal twins. They look very, very, very similar, but for their gender.
And ask, I mean, in oblique terms, like, are these the only? Are you two the only players in Elboulder? Who else are we worrying about?
Oh, honey, land is a valuable thing. For the
Yeah.
most part, it's the only thing they're not making more of. Well, unless of course a wizard gets upon themselves, they're going to go ahead and create themselves some land, and that happens from time to time. But land is a valuable thing, so I can't imagine that we would be the only ones interested in trying to make use of the resources that dastardly Zedram Kai left behind in his absence.
Let me ask this then.
Ask away, sweetie.
Of the
Does Hugon
player,
get irritated of these pet names?
no, not
Okay.
especially.
Yeah, this is all very just cordial.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
just wanted to know with Hugon and his gruffness if he would be getting agitated of being called sweetie pie and stuff.
Not especially. It depends on who it's coming from, largely. There's not a thing that'll come out of Drem's mouth that won't irritate Hugon, unless it's like a death rattle.
She says, I mean,
Of the
I could try to find out, if we wanted
Yeah,
wanted to learn a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I'm concerned and curious of the people who are interested in these land grabs. Who's local and who isn't? Who's coming in from the outside to snatch up the land? Because if it can't be me, I'd much rather it be a local concern than an outsider.
Well, I agree. It should continue to stay with locals. I mean, they're the ones that are going to get the most benefit out of it, and that way we don't have any of those carpetbaggers coming in here and trying to take advantage of the resources that we've so diligently built over the years. But I'm sure I could find out. I mean, it would help to have a little backing to help that, a little more oomph. Would it be all right for me to say that you were looking for that information, or would you like that to be kept a little bit more quiet, like? Because I gotta tell you that if it's me asking, then it's me asking, right? But if it's me asking, not officially, but on behalf of Acquisitions Incorporated, that might carry a little more weight to my questions. I'm not asking for any kind of charter or anything like that. I'm not asking for anything more than just be able to name drop, so to speak.
If it's going to benefit us both for you to start slinging around names like Acquisitions Incorporated and Hugon Valander and Omen Drawn, I don't see why that would be a bad thing. I think it's important that the people we're against know that we're players on the board.
I could see that being valuable. Well, I tell you what. I know you got things that you need to attend to. I know you got all sorts of exciting adventures that you need to pursue as part of your franchise charter, I have no doubt. So why don't I take a look at that? Why don't I see what I can find out for you? And then, when you come back, we'll reconnoiter, we'll exchange notes. Because if you're able to find some information as well, like for instance, something none of us have been able to put our thumb on, is why are people so interested? I mean, beyond the grass and the fields and the farmland and the mineral rights and whatnot, the lumber. These things are very obvious. But why would we be getting attention from so far away if that were the case? Why would someone want to walk into those woods over there?
I think I can tell you exactly why.
Oh, do tell.
But
You in a sharing mood?
I think it would be more of an exchange than a share.
Ah.
Why don't you ask, as we've agreed, and in return, when I come back, I'll explain exactly why people are interested. And in fact, I think if our relationship is going to evolve, I think it might be prudent to render exclusive that information, perhaps to you.
Oh, well, that would be
That
mighty
might be
generous of
beneficial. It would be mighty generous of
mighty
me.
generous of you.
And so I think that would require a mighty generous effort on your behalf.
Oh, well, honey, you have to understand, when I put an effort in, I give everything 100%. There's no other way to do
Certainly.
the job than to do the very best
Absolutely.
you can do. So, well, how long do you think you might be? Where are you off to next, and how long do you think you might be? And that way I can make sure that by the time you're back, I've got the appropriate volume of information.
Well, my team happens to have a very bad track record of skipping time. We're heading to the coast,
Okay.
and then north, and then maybe a different plane of reality. We'll just have to see.
Oh, no. Are you going to have some of that stew that they have down at the inn there? Because if you try to
No,
do that...
I mean a literal different plane of reality.
So am I, but anyway, anywho. All right. So we figure about month's time.
Month.
Sound about right? Give or take. I understand. Things happen. While you're traveling up the coast there might be a place for you to stop. I heard might be some information that you might be able to get to. The average person
You
wouldn't be
say-
able to get to it. But I think that maybe you, with your talents and the people you work with, I think they might actually offer you more information than what you think you already have. I'm not saying that your information is bad by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that, well, I've just heard rumors. I'm not
say-
sure anything's really going to go anywhere. I wouldn't
Right.
worry about it.
When you say get to, do you mean like I can talk to these people and get it? I can purchase this, or I'm gonna have to split some skulls?
Well, I wouldn't recommend the last one there. It doesn't really entreat people to treating you kindly.
No, it certainly doesn't.
But I think if you were to, I think that if while you're traveling on the coast, if you were to happen to come across a repository of some sorts, I think that there's information that you could dig deep in. I've only heard rumors. Like I said, I've only heard rumors. I don't know this from that. I don't know if that's going to be true or not. But I think that, well, this is just the ramblings of an old lady. I don't know. I saw that look, son. That's okay. The indiscretion of
I
youth.
don't trust anybody who says it's just the ramblings of an old whatever.
Well, I hear things, and sometimes they're true, sometimes not, and I don't want to lead you down a bad path and looking for things that may not exist. So I'll just leave it at that. That put a bug in your ear, and if you come across something, great, and if not, that's fine too. We have our agreement right now, just to say that you'll have what you have, I'll have what I have, and we'll deem that if there needs to be any further exchange, we'll figure it out then.
All right. All right. I'm trying to avoid going to collect my friends at the bar.
Son,
I
I
know-
think that's an inevitable.
I know, and I'm trying to steel myself for that because they frustrate me a lot.
I understand, but listen. Friends is friends. No, listen. You don't always have to get along. I've learned, again, ramblings of an old lady, but I have learned in my day and in my time that despite all the bullshit that might go back and forth, loyal friend is hard to find. Someone you can count on, someone who you know what they're going to do in the face of the most dire of circumstances. Now, they might have caused some of those dire circumstances, and listen, that happens, and nothing to be done about that, but it's better to have friends than to not. It's tough because you're putting yourself out there. You got to expose yourself. But in the end, it's better to have friends.
Hugon picks up his stool and good drinking with you.
Anytime.
We'll see each other again
Anytime,
here in a
young
couple of
man.
months.
I'll have a cold one waiting for you. Well, maybe not be cold, but it'll certainly be strong.
Such a funny visual. It's like, okay, I'm done drinking. Picks up your
Yep.
chair to walk out.
And she's still
Like,
kicked
what?
back. She's got this, stool, like the bear troll or bear goblin feet kicked up on the railing. She's got the jug sitting next to her. She's drinking, and she pulls out like this, what looks to be a cigar, and just snaps her fingers, lights it.
Mhm.
Because I know the one trick, lights it. But what's weird is that the smoke actually falls down as she's smoking it. It's just like
Oh
the
dear.
smoke.
So it's like it's a heavy smoke.
It's a heavy smoke.
It's got some sulfates in there.
It's swampy. It's
Yeah.
it's a swampy smoke. So you pick up your chair, you head back to the inn. You see
Oh,
Eno.
what a sight that is.
You see Eno on the. So you walk in and you see Eno on the ceiling.
Okay.
You see I'm not sure quite where Drenmai is. She's probably
At this point, because they're still doing their thing, I got the intel that I wanted. So personal goal achieved. And I I think I might be leaving because I have like all this new information and I have new plots to.
And you see Thunuk sitting at a table with another Fearbolg that looks remarkably like Thunuk. And as you walk in, she glances over. Her eyes go to your waist where you have Delotha stationed, hung. And she almost immediately recoils like a cat who's seen something like it's about to, it's like it's like this physical recoil. And that's actually a good place for us to take our break. So, oh, and Purple Monkey Robots is now the stream boss.
Oh.
Thank you, Purple Monkey Robots. So we are going to go take a brief break so we can, make ourselves look pretty for you for the second half of the show. So please stick around. We will be right back.
Burp.
How come this is not working now? Hang on. No, that didn't work. That didn't work. Oh, I try this. I am so excited that my macros are working. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the second half of Team X, where we're going to play Dungeons and Dragons and try not to burn the world down. Or maybe we will. It could go either way.
But was that not the objective? I thought that was the objective.
Oh shit. I didn't tell you that was it.
I thought that's where the dragon part comes in.
Well, the dragon was acid, keep in mind.
Oh.
Acid burns.
Acid does burn.
Acid does.
But it'd be
in fact
more
burn.
accurate to say that it molecularly dissolves.
It's molecular acid. But we're not playing that kind of Dungeons and Dragons. We are not going to have any dungeons or dragons whatsoever. But we are going to have lots and lots of drugs. No, that's not right either.
Yeah.
TOS.
Oh.
It's D&D. It's all theory of the mind. It's fine. When we last left our protagonists, Hugon had apparently successfully negotiated some preliminary negotiations.
A mutually beneficial exchange of
Yes.
information contingent on several outside quantities.
Drenmai learned about new mushrooms. Eno learned about new mushrooms, but from a completely different perspective. Thunuk learned about mushrooms he already knew about but forgot about, because it's been a minute. And, oh yeah, by the way, Thunuk has a sister, and they were having a conversation. But Eno, give me an insight roll before we come back to a moment that we just left everything
right.
at.
God damn! Finally, 20.
20.
So
Dirty?
that's wait a second.
Wait, crit? Like,
yeah, I crit. But I have a plus 0 to insight, so it's a 20.
awesome.
Blah, 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 blah.
You've had quite the day. You've had quite the day. You realize in this moment of you sprawled out on the ceiling, spider climb still active, you come to realize that while this was a trip that you were on, it was mushroom induced.
Right.
It wasn't false. That the threads that you were picking up and playing around with and cleaning and trying to organize actually exist. In a very metaphysical way, in that there are things that are connected, but that it would be possible, should you be able to view these threads properly again, to just combine everything again, you could actually follow the threads. You could almost, it's like trying to here's I got it. It's like trying to string a lute with infinite strings. Each one is very, very specifically tuned, but you think that you might be able to start working out a very, very small percentage of it and understand the music that you could play and could be played and the music that everyone is playing.
So Eno actually is, while he's laying on the ceiling, has taken out his lute, and he's starting to look at the strings, and he starts to strum this. He starts to strum, and he starts to play this melody, and then he starts singing, and he says, "The threads of everything flowing endlessly through the dream. They travel everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Connecting between themselves and through the seams. They tie up all the planes and portray all the themes. You can travel with me through the loops. Just gotta eat some furbog soup. Furbog soup, furbog soup. It's got me jumping through all the hoops. Furbog soup, furbog soup. I think I've finally found the truth."
That could almost be a jingle. Wow.
That's the Furbog soup commercial.
Champion. Champion.
Dude,
Now in Chucky style.
I can't wait to see. Extra thick. Wow. So, yeah, you think you think you might be able to pluck those strings again?
And to what end? Like I can pluck the strings, and then what do I think it's gonna what's gonna generate?
Pluck one now.
So
Like
just
so okay. Oh no, I got it. So
Okay.
think of a memory. Okay. So okay, we're gonna put this into bardic terms because
Okay.
seems like he views everything, not unrightfully so, through a musical lens,
Mhm.
right? As we learned through the world tree, as we learned through his magic, through this most recent experience. So imagine or think about, you think if you focus on a previous memory, on a previous event, on a person, that you might be able to, if you imagine a whole bunch of intersecting, tautly drawn steel strings that are all intersecting and very chaotic in their nature. But if you were to like almost use like the dulcimer hammer on one of them, and that's the one connected to a memory, an event, a person, that because there's multiple memories and there's multiple people, and you can have multiple threads.
Yeah.
But if you were to tap that with the dulcimer thread, uh, you would be able to then almost see those strings, and it goes on forever because everything's connected all throughout time. But you'd be able to start to see those connections, and you could possibly reveal insights into how events or people might be connected. And you think that
Mhm.
by concentrating on that and getting you would need to do I think like an intelligence check, like a concentration check, right? And if you did that and were able to pluck a string on your lute or play some kind of music, however you want to interpret that, and really connect the two of them based on your intelligence check, you might be able to see how that basically see that vibration spread out, and you'd see which strings were actually affected and what nodes they were affected.
So as I'm playing the song,
Mhm.
like I keep thinking about fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realize when I'm done playing the song why I keep thinking about. I'm thinking about the fire that happened
Mm-hmm.
at the orphanage.
Mm-hmm.
And I pluck the last note of the song, and I'm like, and I just say the fire,
Boom.
and I rolled a 5, which really sucks. But bardic inspiration is 3 more. Yeah,
An 8.
and I got a +1 in it, so that's 9.
9.
That's not good. Yeah,
It's not enough. It's something new. You're
Okay.
trying to learn a song for the first time, and just you can't quite keep they're out of sync. You're missing some synchronicity.
okay.
Anyone?
I start writing in my journal.
Yeah, it's not quite. They're almost, they're not vibrating in at the same time right now. You think that if you were to rest for about an hour or so and try again, if you were to do a short rest, if you were to take a short rest, you would probably be able to try to repeat the experiment. You think there's something there.
Okay.
You were able to did it, but it kind of disappears into darkness, and you're not able to pick up more than that. But you know that there's more depths to plumb on that front. So, Hugon, you walk in, you get to the end. It's right as Eno is finishing his song,
And which I am a little disappointed because I like Eno's songs.
there's a
but I'm
melancholy
not
there
disappointed
sometimes.
enough that I wish that I'd been around for the entirety of the nonsense that happened.
Oh,
It's okay. I had the whisper jar recording it. So
Oh, fantastic!
yeah.
you can listen
I'll
to it
get
anytime
on
you
that. I'll
want.
get it on the B-sides.
Hot single's gonna drop any day now.
Single LP. Come on, let's
Through fantasy Napster.
Fantasy LimeWire. Let's do it.
But as we had established right before we went to break, was that as Hugon entered the room, Kotz reacted in almost like a cat-like manner, very much like Guinan when she met Q for the first time
Oh.
in the Next Generation, where there's fear but defiance. As
And
she
also, like, I'm gonna like force lightning your ass if you open your mouth and say something cross.
I always wondered what she was actually gonna do.
I was kind of like hoping Q would like step over that line so that she'd whoop his ass. That'd be
but,
great. Because he was afraid of her.
She reacts this way, and in Giant, she says, "What is that thing doing here?" And it's very like she's like full on like. This is Thunic. This is something like you've not seen this kind of reaction out of her before. Your sister has always been a very, as most Fear Bulgar, very aloof,
Even
tempered, kind of, very. But this was.
Did she say this super loud?
It's not shouted, but when a Fear Bulg is speaking with intention, it resonates.
People tend to hear it.
It tends to hear it. There is a bass note. You might have felt it through the floorboards a little bit, but it is also, and Giant, I think so. Giant, as I've seen it, looks very much like Nordic languages. It looks like it shares a lot with Swedish and Icelandic and there's like some. It looks to me, to my eye, somewhere between Nordic and like Slavic languages, kind of.
I mean, even the word that they use to describe the
Jotun.
language is the word for giant.
is yeah. But I would also
So
imagine.
I picture I'm leaving, and then it's like that cartoon where one foot's up in the air and one's on the ground, and she says that, and it's like 180. I'm not really paying attention. I'm probably
But the
past
foot never
Hugon.
comes down. It's just.
Yeah, it's just that rotating. Like,
Basically, you went into
and then I'm gonna, like, make the eye contact.
you went into GIMP and you
And then
just
I
and
see
you just
Hugon
reverse
next
the
to me.
image. And I think with Giant as well, for it to be spoken properly, it has to be spoken at volume. Because even when a giant is whispering, it sounds like a boulder rolling down a mountainside. Because, it's a giant. Large vocal cords. It's...
It's all the diaphragm. It is a lot of diaphragm.
Yeah. So, but there's some emotion here as she reacts to that. And Hugon, you actually feel Delotha briefly heat up. Like, not like searing, but it's like a if you've ever had like a seat warmer in a car, like that feeling of like it gets turned on all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, that's warmer than it was a second
Hi,
ago.
hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Warm?
I'm gonna see that Kot is looking at Hugon, and I'm gonna turn to him, actually put my foot down, and be like, "What'd you do?"
Hugon ignores her. And is focusing on Kat.
And you don't know what she said because she said this
Right.
in.
But she
Giant.
gets the feeling
No,
that
but
like
you can feel
Oh, yeah.
the intent.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
This is at you. This is in your direction. I'll say whether. Let's do a perception check.
13 on the die, that's
Can't hear you.
16.
16. You're relatively certain that her ire is not focused on you as much as it is focused on Delotha.
Hugon will like he's not in like an amazing mood, so he'll probably like
Well, he had a couple
tap
drinks.
the mask. Yeah, well, I mean, he's already like frustrated that he has to be babysitting 3 grown-ass adults. and one of them is like 400 years old and causing all the problems. So he'll tap the mask with one finger and look at Cotton and goes, "I take it you've met?"
And in Giant, she responds, um, she responds, "I know." She said, "I know the work." But again, in Giant, and I don't. Does Hugon speak Giant?
Hugon does not speak Giant.
Yes.
He speaks Undercommon, Goblin, and Orc. He does not speak Giant.
Mm-hmm.
So like Hugon will like look to Thunuk and go, "Translation?"
Oh, yeah. He doesn't speak Giant. You should probably speak Common to him. She's something about the knowing the work. I don't know what that means.
And she
Which
says,
one?
and she says, to Thunuk, to you, she says,
he
as he says, well, no, we're gonna get to that. Thunuk, as you say, your guy speak Common. Her response is, "Words in Common cannot properly express the ire I feel." Because like even though we're talking like they do have like a 1-to-1 translation for some of the words in the book, I think that there's certain words and languages that only work in that language.
Eno hears that and says, "Oh, let me help with that." And he like stands on the ceiling and then touches Hugon's shoulder and casts tongues. This spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear the target understands what it says. So you'll be able to understand her when she talks Giant, and you'll also be able to speak, and she'll be able to understand you.
So
I
she
just like that Eno is completely sober now, yet still chooses to remain on the ceiling. I'm pleased.
I mean, you can't waste a spider climb.
it would be.
Well,
a
he's
waste.
he's still a little bit. He doesn't.
He's coming
quite
down.
Get it yet? Like
Still chewing on that
Scale is not
wad.
balanced.
yeah.
It's like it's getting to that point where it's like that piece of gum that just has every now and again a little bit of the mint comes through. It's
Yeah.
not quite done yet, but it's getting there.
The realization will kick in about 5 minutes that he's still on the ceiling.
And he's chewing something that was in someone else's mouth. But yeah, so Hugon, right as he casts that for you, right as he casts that for you, you catch the tail end of her saying that words in Common do not properly express my ire, and because of the way it works, you understand that, like we just said, there's certain words in certain languages that only work in that language that don't properly express. I'm thinking of there's a word actually in Korean for like deep, profound melancholy and sadness, but also hope. But there's no like literal translation for it other than that word. So it's kind of along those lines where there's certain words
Right.
that are culturally driven within any language. That's kind of what you get on the tail end of that.
I also cast comprehend languages on myself so that I can understand.
Because
what
I
she's
want to
saying.
gossip too.
Yeah, I want to hear what she's saying too. So I cast it on myself.
So Hugon, having heard the tail end, he goes, "Which one?" As if like that is enough for her to go off of.
So it was for which.
She had said that she knows the work. And
Oh,
his response was,
She goes, "The creature who forged that unholy, it's not natural.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not.
Do you understand what you carry with you?"
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I
Because
think
if you
that
did,
you're about to try and tell me that I don't know what I know, and I think that you should stop because you're about to make a mistake. I am more familiar with this than you can possibly imagine.
child, you know not of what you speak.
You just did what I asked you not to do.
Thonic, you hear to your ears, a very low growl coming from deep. It's almost sub-audible coming from your sister. And you know this growl. This is a growl that Firbolg make only when they're getting very angry and willing to go to the far end of their spectrum when it comes to removing people from their wood.
Ooh.
Hugon does
and-
not pick up on this at all.
No,
because
because
he's far away and can't
it's
feel it.
yeah, it's subaudible. And Thunic, you know what Firbolg do. That was something from a very early age that, generally speaking, Firbolg will, at first, politely ask people to move along their way. They'll be cordial, nothing mean, but can you just not stay? And then if that doesn't work, they'll resort to more subtle means of trying to get them to leave, like, maybe paths mysteriously get blocked or supplies mysteriously go missing. Little things, kind of trickery. They're sneaking in, using their invisibility stuff to go in, and it's very subtle just to kind of say, no, you really need to move on, try to make it, and they slowly escalate that general unwelcomeness until it gets to a point where they know they have to be more forceful. And then if you get to the point where you have, like, for instance, gnolls who are absolute defilers of nature.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And when Firbolg decide they're going to physically remove something or someone from their wood, it is not a pretty sight. Because there are few things in this world as terrifying as angry, violent Firbolg, who, generally speaking, when they decide that it's time for the gnolls to be removed, they will be removed, and there will be no trace that they had ever existed, ever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because they moved swift. Because when Firbolg decide to move, they move swiftly, and they move violently, and they are strong, and they are fierce, and they are relentless, and it is beyond anything you are certain that your friend Hugon would ever be able to contain.
Yep. As he realizes what's happening, Thunic is going to say, "Okay, I think we should all calm down, and we should try and talk this out. I don't think he understands why you're angry. And I will admit, I also don't really know why you're angry. But let's all calm down, and let's all be what's the word? Rational. Let's be rational."
Oh, big word from Thunic.
And as he uses this word, as he finishes that last one, he gets the face that one or two of you have probably seen him do, because I don't have him cast concentration spells all that often, but he's obviously freaking concentrating now. It's like,
No blinking. Uncomfortable
When-
eye contact.
And I will cast Calm Emotions on everyone in the room.
Oh. All right. So is there a save on
wisdom
that?
saving throw?
Is it a wisdom save?
It is attack save charisma 15, it says.
Oh, okay.
What? Wait.
Wait, hold
Oh,
on. How
charisma
does this
15.
work?
Charisma 15.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving throw 15.
Okay.
You tend to suppress.
Yeah,
Okay.
your DC is 15. Oh, Jesus
I don't save.
Christ.
Well, you weren't really.
Ow.
You weren't hyperactive to begin with. You weren't like.
No,
She's just
I'm still
normal
in the
levels
room.
of Dren.
So just normal.
I'm like a normal functioning, like,
Normal functioning Dren being a really strange descriptor.
yeah.
Baseline Dren.
I'm like a good gnome. I'm a non-chaotic gnome currently.
All right. So how'd everybody do?
18 on the die.
18?
On the die, yeah.
Okay.
I
So-
rolled a 1 and I've got a +7, so I got an 8.
So you're still pretty calm, man. You're having a day.
Yeah, +7 on your charisma saves. Wow, that's
Yeah.
nice.
The growl fades and the hackles kind of come back down on Kot.
Okay.
I don't know if
now,
Hugon would know it, but he's like been like drumming his fingers on the tip of the mask.
Mm-hmm. Like unconsciously. Yeah.
Clack, 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 clack. And he
Okay.
does not appear to be have been calmed at all. He's still kind of mad.
Now, if we're being calm, why don't you tell Hugon, Cat, why that mask is bad?
And she switches to common and says, if you knew who forged that, and for the purpose which it was forged, you would throw it away as far as you could and run in the opposite direction.
And Hugon, in common, also looks at her square in the eyes and says, "Don't tell a vessel its business." And then turns around and walks out.
What the fuck just happened? You hear from the ceiling.
And she says to your Thunix, she says to you, I fear for your friend.
Why? What's wrong with the mask? I mean, it does a little glowy thing. I've seen him wear it a lot. It glows in, like, the eyes.
My brother, it does so much more.
Is he in danger?
I don't know.
The
previous owner was not for real, but was hollowed out. Not for real. You do I mean, you understand? So he still had all of his squishy bits.
Yes.
He still had all the squishy bits on the inside where they belonged. But
Like,
okay.
Their soul was taken.
Yes. Yes, like it was yes.
Huh.
Yeah, so he looked normal. He looked like him, but it wasn't him. It was it
Was it someone else?
I don't know.
I
Don't know. You know who would know?
Who?
Teacher.
But
But he might be dead.
He might be dead.
We could solve that.
Drenmai says.
How? Wait, what? How do you solve might be dead?
I've just been like that kid on the floor, just like, Ooh, something perks my interest. There's ways to make dead not dead.
That sounds like like not good stuff.
That's debatable.
Four don't like that. Nope. 4 don't like that.
They don't like bringing people back from the dead.
You can always just try and bring them back temporarily and then just kill them again. And then you put the order right.
That's the bit they don't like. The sort of not back, sort of not alive. Like,
I'll say it again.
Like,
okay.
Like undead. They don't like undead. Undead
That's
are bad.
fine. We could just
like those
kill them
things
again
in the catacombs. And
glean information from him.
Um, I don't think he'd appreciate that. And I should not be a part of something that like that.
Oh, I'd do it for you. But besides that, do you know he's actually dead?
I think he's dead. Mostly dead.
Think.
Probably dead.
So you don't know.
Well, I mean, he's most likely dead. He said he would come back, and he didn't come back, and
Where did he go?
he didn't tell me.
Hmm.
He said he had an errand to run, and that he'd come back. And usually, when things go away and don't come back, it's because they're dead. So he's
That's
dead.
not always true. I've wandered a lot. I got lost for 100 years once. I'll tell you about that one time, but not now.
Plot hook.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you didn't see his body
No,
not have life in it.
no, I didn't.
So you don't really know.
Well, I waited for like a long while.
But maybe he got captured. If he got captured, then he wouldn't be able to come back and meet you. Maybe he's still alive.
Thunic is doing like,
Somewhere else.
captured. Sort of. As soon as you say may have gotten captured, his face is like, yeah, whatever. Like that's ever going to happen to Master.
There's always somebody bigger and badder and stronger out there in the world. If it's anything I've learned.
I don't know. Teacher was pretty.
He was tough.
Is he tougher than a god?
No.
Is he tougher than the Four?
Okay, now that's. I
Is
want
he
to say
tougher than
no.
the Four? But I mean,
Heresy. Oh.
Wrong game. I think no.
maybe not.
Because that's where he got his powers from. So no.
So,
Okay.
in other words, you don't know.
I may have assumed.
We should go find a seer then.
Yeah.
Scrying pool, anything similar. Because you
Um,
know what he looks like.
Yes. May have made a mistake about thinking that he was dead.
That's
Uh-oh.
okay.
Well, at least you didn't do that after you buried him, because that would have been a really big mistake.
Did not do that. No, not this time. No, you learned that lesson.
Remember when we did that to Twiggy?
After that happened to cousin Charlie, we never did that again.
Yeah, and oh, you did it too? We did it to Twiggy once, and it was funny. Well, funny for us.
No.
He wasn't.
No. We buried Big Brother Kronk once, and Kronk was not happy with it. No.
He also hates being called Twiggy.
He hates it a lot.
Oh, he's up in the mountain.
They caught he got caught.
They were really big, and there's a lot of them. And we were kind of sleepy because it was like right after a big meal. And yeah.
But Croc was caught. Wow. Okay. Croc was caught. That yeah, there are bigger and badder things out there. Okay. That is yes. We should probably go rescue them. Are they still up there?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I think
Mhm.
yes. Yes. Last I
Mhm.
saw them. I didn't hear otherwise.
Okay. Hey guys, can we go rescue my family?
I'm going to kind of look at her and be like, why didn't you ever do anything? Why'd you abandon your family?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. They split us
You
up.
left them.
They split us up.
You never went back for him.
I couldn't.
Dren is a really awful person to be asking these
Oh, yeah.
questions.
Oh yeah.
and she's like,
she's that friend that has no filter.
She's like, but I didn't. I mean, there's more of them than there were of me. And
For the
they're really-
record, "fuck you" is an appropriate response.
and they're really big, and they're stronger than me, and I want to go get them, but I don't know. I don't think I would have been very good at it. I'm not good at sneaking or fighting.
Okay.
I'm pretty
That's
much
good you
just
found
good
us.
for
Or
cooking.
I found you. John would be like, "That's good. It's probably good that I found you.
Every time that they
We'll fix it."
every time that they they changed my name. My name's Kat. It's not, but they called me Kyot.
I called you what?
Kyot.
Who was it that caught you? Who was it that took you? What are they?
We have to go.
Steinjoten.
We have to go. We have to go visit my. We have to go rescue my. And she takes. He takes.
I love that.
He takes Adrema aside. That's not a name. They called her meat. They called her food.
Hmm.
That's not a
Do
name.
they eat? Do they eat Fearbowl?
They
that a
eat
thing?
everything.
Oh, okay.
And it's
So do
the
you think
first
they're
time you've
eating
ever
your
heard
family?
Phonix say that and have it not be a good thing.
Yeah.
They eat.
And
They eat people. They eat everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Then
Not just jerks.
let's leave yesterday. Did Hugon already leave?
Where did Hugon march off to?
Yeah.
So Hugon, we had this little exchange, and Hugon marches out into the street.
Hugon left, and then
Where there's some deep cleansing breaths.
no, there weren't. This is not the place for the conversation that he wants to have. Or, well,
Mm-hmm.
there's
I
not.
just want to know how far out of the building made it.
Oh, he's probably out into the street and like going somewhere else. Like he
Not
may have
too terribly far.
he
Yeah.
may have like just like straight lined out of the front door to this bar and out of town. Like not too far, but like
It's not a big town. It's not like
away from all of you.
yeah, it's not like it's a big
Well, yeah, and
town
it
where
wasn't-
like
it
I walked out
wasn't
of
as-
Philadelphia. Well, shit, you're in Jersey. It's more like, no, I walked 3 blocks and hey, there's no more town because it's not a big town.
Yeah, and it wasn't a super long conversation. So I'm gonna do little short legs out the door
Mm-hmm.
and chase after Hugon and try and catch up.
Mm-hmm. And as you do that,
Do I find him?
yeah, you could.
It's not hard.
Yeah,
you probably
he's-
Okay.
see him still.
Yeah, you see him walking down the street. People
Okay.
are like very unconsciously or consciously getting out of his way. There's like almost like it's like a wake
A wedge shape.
of yeah, exactly. It's like there's
like a
times
snowplow.
yeah, like if you get like when you're like mad and you've got all the body language that goes with it, and you're also built like infantry. When you're like that, people just sort of almost unconsciously know to get out of the way. Whether they realize why they're doing that or not, there's sort of like an aura around them, and you can see there's definitely like a safe zone around Shugon as he's moving through the street. So yeah, it wouldn't take much.
Oh
to
yeah,
catch
Dren
up to him.
doesn't care about that and does like almost the full on tackle.
So like against his shin. Like
Yeah,
Like-
it's like your calf muscle basically. So,
Are you trying to physically wrestle him to the ground, or are you just trying to like, get his attention?
Oh no, I rolled and my fate die told me that I tripped.
Are you trying to trip
So,
him?
I'm just
No, she tripped.
No.
Oh.
I tripped.
Oh, you tripped.
I'm playing it off that as I'm tackling him to get attention. It's like that, huh, and then you just continue that motion, and I'm gonna try and latch to his leg.
Okay. Like the timing was just
'Cause I
ever
don't
so
wanna fall
off.
entirely.
The timing was like off by like a
Yes.
step. Like when you miss the escalator step by 1.
And then, you're like, wait, nerd, yeah, stop. We got something to do now, and we need to go, like now. Like now.
Dren, we've got contracts to do. Business to do. What do you want?
Well, it's not so much what I want. I mean, Thinnook's family's being eaten alive.
Okay, and?
Jesus.
I'm gonna help him. He's a friend.
Okay, what makes you think that we can get there in time to stop them from being eaten? If they're being eaten right now.
Well, I don't know if they're being eaten right now.
So you don't know
seems
if
to be,
there's a
like,
problem or not.
storage thing. Oh, I'm sure there's problems. That one that yelled at you, apparently she escaped, but then she abandoned her family, and I have issues with that. But Thinnook's concerned. I know. These are like the two most characters to be having this conversation. Thinnook has concerns, and he's done a lot for us. We should help him. It's not too far away. From the sounds that they're talking, it's just like a little hop, skip, and a jump. And then we can be back, and you can sit on your stool and do business stuff.
Hugon's bullshit sensor is just smacking the
Pin.
needle. Like clack, clack, clack.
Mm-hmm. Do I have to do a persuasion check?
You can try.
Where's my die? What is my persuasion? Eh. That's 13.
I mentioned at 13, she at
moderately
least
convincing.
has your attention. It's not a flat
She's
out.
got my attention, probably. Look. That's unfortunate.
But
There's no but.
no, period. End of sentence.
Now, I'm sorry that he's having familial problems. It's a shame. But we have contracts.
are there any timelines on said contracts? Did you write that into the contract?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see it.
No,
How long?
you're not qualified.
So what contract are we going to work on first then? What's the most
Candlekeep first.
time imminent one?
Going to Candlekeep first. And then we're going to be heading north. And then we're going to be going to Sigil.
So why don't we just kind of do the little arc along the way up to Candlekeep
I don't know, because I'm
and
not
save
being
the
paid
next?
to.
Sigil?
Yeah.
To visit Grandmama
It's a thing.
Gemweaver. Nani
yeah, I
Gemweaver.
forgot
See,
about
we're
that.
visit Nani Gemweaver.
Forgot about that.
If you know, the next sister or whoever that is wants to play by the rules, she can make a contract.
I'm gonna get on the intercom. Be like, Sanuk,
No, I know. Okay, I understand that. Yes.
do you trust me?
It's a terrible question. Hugon says that out loud to you.
You're in the background over
you
there.
hear it in the background.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I click off. Okay, you'll get paid.
That's not good enough.
What do you want?
I want a contract. Go get it.
You're the one that writes them.
I don't write shit.
Fine. Then I'm gonna assume that somewhere in my bag of holding, I'm gonna have like that bullshit, like that standardized contract that comes from AI.
fill-out form.
Yeah.
And we've
It's
got
just
Buck
gonna
with
be
us
like-
technically, don't we?
Yeah, you have Buck
Did we
with
bring
you.
Buck?
Well,
Yeah,
he's
Buck can-
probably back at the
Buck
inn
can
or
notarize
whatever.
it.
He's like a mobile documancer kind of thing, where he doesn't have documancy powers, but he can be used as like a mobile documancy unit. He has
He's like a wizard. You just check the boxes and he prints out a.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you say, Buck, we need X, blah 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 terms, but and then just you hear the you can hear the dot matrix sound. You know.
Oh yeah,
God,
I'll do.
I
Like,
hear
the
that sound in my
general
dreams.
fill out.
Ugh, ugh.
Lots of clanking.
I'll do the general fill out and then do the notarize. But then as I'm filling it, I'll be like, "How much do you want?"
I know exactly what I want.
Okay.
I want to know what his sister thinks she knows about these masks.
So you don't even want physical payment.
Information is payment.
Okay, done. And I write it into the contract.
They have to sign it, you
I
know.
si- oh
They
yeah, I
have to
sign it. I make you sign it for your agreement that that's what you want.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna go trot
Initial
off.
here.
It'll be like-
Here.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that barn door, like coming in from being a cowboy scene, slam the door open.
But it's more like Yosemite Sam, right? Where it's like the door's open and it's
Yeah,
like
it's way
closed,
down here.
and then
When Drenmai left, Eno climbed down from the ceiling and said, "Hey, Alexi, let's go find Dersh. I want to get that letter that we're supposed to take to Waterdeep."
oh, Dersh. Thank you for remembering the name.
Dersh.
Darsh, yeah.
Darsh.
And
And
then I'm gonna
Savad,
walk up-
Savat can come too if you want.
She hasn't stopped. Now that you're down, she hasn't stopped petting you again. She's still dealing with. It's her thing before is like she wanted to touch your horns, and it was like, yeah, sure, go ahead and do that. And so, but she's still kind of in that ecstasy mode of, oh, I'm gonna, yeah.
Yeah, so
oh.
he starts walking towards the door like in hopes that she'll keep following him.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Yeah, all
like
right.
like a toddler chasing a dog, trying to get no pet. No.
Okay.
Less enthusiastic than
I'm gonna
before, but
walk
she's
over.
definitely yeah.
I'll walk over to where Thinuk and Cot is. I'd be like,
So there's
I'll
this
look at them and I'd be
crossing.
like you said,
There's this
yeah.
crossing of Drenmai
Yeah,
leaving
they're-
out as
they're
Eno's
leaving.
Eno, Alexi, and Savat are leaving. This door's getting a workout
Yeah,
today.
I'm not paying attention to him. And I'm gonna look right at Thinuk and be like, I'm gonna slap the paper down onto the table and be like, you trusted me, so just sign this, and I'll explain later.
Oh, okay.
And your sister has to right here, and then you initial here, date here, initial, sign here.
And she says,
Gets out the pen adapter and applies an actual like normal size quill to it. All right. Keeps it very close to his face so you can actually.
Yeah, I point it so he can like get where he's supposed to.
she's like, is it okay? And she turns to you, Thonic. And again, she's kind of, whenever she's speaking with you, like personally, it's always in giant, right? It's sort of like, it's like when you, I guess like sort of like the native language, right?
Yeah.
And he's just,
Oh no, I'm intimately familiar with that entire concept. Yes.
mhm. I thought you would be. And she says, is it cool to, is it cool to sign this? Or she's your friend.
Yes.
Friend.
This-
Not, you don't own her, she doesn't own you.
Okay, so he stops signing as she's asking these questions. Okay, and is speaking almost entirely in giant. So she's my coworker and my friend. Coworker is in common, by the way, because there's no concept for it. Now, that is a word that means we have a job. We work together. Now, I don't know about the rest of the world, but as near as I can tell, the little people, they don't own things. They can't be owned, and I like that. It's very nice here. You don't get owned. No one owns anyone, and it's all very nice.
That does sound nice.
That being said, if you get in trouble, you're in trouble with everyone that you got in trouble with, and there's nobody that punishes you except for you and them, which is a lot less scary, actually. Now that I think about it. Um, they also don't understand that everything is edible, like to a degree.
But you can
I-
eat
I- I-
anything.
That you can, and they don't get that. But
Have they
you know, they don't
tried?
eat
Have they tried spider legs?
the angry one that you were yelling at
Yeah.
eats them, and I don't understand why.
Has he tried them?
I don't even know.
Then how does he know?
He thinks he knows that he hates them. I don't know.
Does he know that like the big pointy beetles are kind of like land oysters?
I have not brought that up with him.
Oh.
I hate you both.
We just open and just slurp
Yeah,
and done,
no.
and he hasn't.
He has a very strange fixation about only eating certain things, and as near as I could tell, it's chickens and cows and pigs and
How limiting.
not much else.
How
Yeah,
boring.
it's not a lot.
Hmm.
I haven't seen him eat much at all. I mean, he ate bread once. I don't know that he knows where eggs come from. I'm not sure if I should tell him.
Well, if he doesn't want to eat spider legs and he doesn't want to eat beetle, then he does not want to know where eggs come from.
I don't think he does. So I'm not going to tell him that. We have to make sure he doesn't starve to death. So
So
Don't
it's
tell him
okay.
everything.
So what you're saying is it's okay to sign.
yes, yes, it is completely safe to sign. She is someone we can trust. Yes.
Okay. And so she takes the same quill adapter. Sign. And she says, in common now, to you, Drenmai, does this mean we're friends now?
If you want to be.
I
Need
do.
to see a couple things before I trust you.
It's good to be friends.
Friends are good.
Friends are good. Okay.
It's better to be friends.
It is better to be friends.
I'll hold up the piece of paper. This means you owe me one.
One what?
I'll tell you once I need it. I'm gonna go trotting off. Go back up to Hugan. Fring! Ha! Close. I go
Contract.
back to the shop.
No. Contract stays with me. Contract stays with me. And he like looks it over and like sees that everything is it's like legit,
Mm-hmm.
and then rolls it up and puts it in his bag.
Mm-hmm.
Says, "All right."
I've already left. I went back to my workshop to get ready to leave.
Eno.
Yep.
So you went to go visit our friend Darsh,
Mm-hmm.
the traveling merchant of somewhat questionable means, to get the letter. And he goes, my friend, you're looking better than the last time I saw you.
Oh,
You
yeah?
Well, you seem more focused on the moment than you were before.
Yeah. There was like a whole experience in there, man. I mean,
You had the stew.
I don't
didn't
even
you?
know.
You had the stew, didn't you?
Yeah.
If you're not ready for the stew, then the stew is ready for you.
What's in that? Do you know?
I have never asked. I don't want to know. I
She
just
held up some
know
kind of
I saw some things I do not want to see.
mushroom.
Mushroom. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. Listen, I had similar things back in the Underdark. I mean, there's some mushrooms there. Really, really weird.
Do you
Yeah,
still
I
have
mean-
access to them?
I mean, it would take me a while to go back there, I think. But yeah, I could probably find them.
I tell you what, if you ever do find them again, come see me first. I'll make you a deal.
Okay.
I think we can work something out here because there is a certain clientele, a certain market for items from that particular area of the world. Certain collectors, shall we say, that we might be able to do a nice amount of business, if that's something you're interested in. Don't go out of your way. I understand it's not a pleasant place to go all the time.
If I run across some of those, I'll keep you in mind.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now,
Did you get a chance to write that letter?
I
Or?
did get the chance to write the letter.
Okay.
So here is what's going to happen. And he goes into his pocket and he pulls out this piece of paper that's been very, very intricately folded. And not just like folded. Like there's actually like we'll do a perception check on this.
God, dice. Ugh.
Perhaps if you got new dice from Norse Foundry when you were at PAX Unplugged.
This is from Norse Foundry. I rolled a 2, and so that's a 4.
Okay.
Perception.
It looks it's very pretty to look at. The folds.
Wow.
But and then it has the wax seal on it. But other than that, there's no markings on the outside. He goes, now, for security's sake, until you enter the city of Waterdeep, the name will not appear on this letter, because we would not want it to fall into the improper hands.
Okay.
Once you enter into the city of Waterdeep, the name will appear. Once it's within the city limits, it's geographically activated. And he says, and then you can go deliver it. I must caution you, though, you must not open the letter. It is for their eyes only. It is for their eyes only. Very important.
Don't you worry.
Excellent. Excellent, my friend. I think you and I are going to be able to get along. I like the cut of your jib.
Does Eno does Eno see any deception in any of the things that he's saying? Like, do I think that he is trying to get me to do some weird nefarious shit?
Just weird stuff. Insight check.
It's 10.
No, you don't think so.
Okay. So he just mage hand comes out, grabs the letter, puts it in Eno's bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eno doesn't even touch it. The mage hand comes out, puts it in the bag.
Oh, you're being extra special. You know, I knew I was trusting the correct person with this task.
Yeah, I don't want to get my fingerprints on it just in case.
No. Yeah, you are very wise. You have been through this before, I can tell. I detect that accent again, and I know you spent some time there, and you know how the games that can be played.
Trust me, I've been around Waterdeep.
Wondrous city. Lots of things to see and do and smell and taste, but also brimming with intrigue of all varieties. But you already know. Good luck in your journey, my friend.
And you and yours. And like the whole time he's been talking, Savat's probably still stroking his horns and stuff. Is that what's... And then he's like, "Come on, Savat, we gotta get back."
Oh, do we have to? Okay, I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just follow you.
Yeah. Hey, Alexi, did you get all that?
I got everything. We're not to touch or read the letter until we get to Waterdeep.
Right.
And there are things to taste in Waterdeep.
There's a lot of things to taste in Waterdeep, my friend. Let me tell you something. They've got a soup there. It's not as good as that soup, but it's pretty good.
It is pretty good. We will have to try that soup, I believe.
Okay.
Yes, I understand what we must do. Where are we going?
I think we're going to Candlekeep first.
Yes, we have places to go. We must on.
Yeah, let's go to Candlekeep. All right. And just walks back to the restaurant, bar, whatever it was.
Okay, so you have all essentially reconnoitered, I'm guessing, back in this common area now. Hang on, just doing this. Okay. So you've all reconnoitered in the common area of the inn. You're making the decision. I guess now it's up to you is to decide what you have contracts in hand. We have the contract. There's the what do we have? I got to actually add it to the screen here eventually. We have the Desserin Valley contract. We have the newly inked Rescue Thunux Family contract. There is more of not so much a contract as much as an errand of convenience to Candlekeep. And there is the need to get to Waterdeep, not only because now we have a side quest of delivering the note, but we also have the need, because that's the closest you'd be able to find a way to get to Sigil safely.
So Eno walks into the bar and he says, "All right, you guys ready to go to Candlekeep?"
No.
We're not going there yet.
Oh.
We'll get there. We gotta.
Okay.
Thanuck's got some fam trubs. We gotta go help his family. It's on the way to Candlekeep.
Oh. All right. Well, where's that? Let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna be taking the sister with us.
Oh. Okay.
I don't know that
You're
I
going.
can go. I
You're
have
going.
a job.
I think they'll let you go. It's important. It's family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do they understand that here?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who's your boss? I'll talk to him.
She points
That'll
over.
be fine.
She points over to Sahar.
Sahar? All right.
Sahar. The barkeep.
So Eno walks over to Sahar and says, "Hey, Sahar, I think I know is it sister?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I know your sister works in Pinedale."
Yes, in Pinedale. Yes, she runs the
Yeah,
silver
yeah.
here. Yes.
Hey, listen, can you do me a favor? Your chef here really needs to help. She's got a family in need. She really needs to come with us, and we're gonna help her get her. Her family's in trouble.
Mm.
It's really bad, like
Mm.
death stuff, right? Life and death. So, is it okay if she comes with us? I mean, we'll get her back here. She's really worried about her job, about losing. She's an awesome chef. I'm gonna give her 5 stars and every billboard I can. Seriously, excellent shit. Best soup I ever had. I am not kidding. But we gotta help her family, and we need her to help us help her family.
Well, how long do
Should I
you
roll
plan
it?
to have her away? Yeah, give me a persuasion.
Persuasion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could be a few weeks. It could be a few months. Knowing us, I rolled a 2.
He's like, listen. I
and
appreciate it, but
that's 7.
I need to
I'm
have.
gonna roll in with my Littlefoot self as well. And I'm gonna assume that she knows me.
Yeah, you see, Eno's
I'm
having some
also-
He's like, I don't know if I can go that long without a cook, and I wouldn't be able to hold her job that long. And if she needs to go, she needs to go. But
I know lots of people in this town. So, do I know any cooks?
that would be that'd be a history check? I think that'd be a history check. I always
Okay.
Memory is always a weird thing too.
Local knowledge, local's not a thing.
Local knowledge, yeah.
No,
That's a 22.
You know of several people who might be able to cook.
I'm gonna do that thing of hold up the finger.
Mhm.
Hold that thought. Go find them.
But it's like just over the top of the
And-
bar, right? It's like like not
Yeah.
even Dren, like, hold on.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm gonna go do. I'm going to acquire said person. I'm not even gonna talk to them. I'm gonna grab their hand and drag them back. Present them. Be like, here.
Dren, what are you doing? Where are we going? What, Dren? Just
You're doing this.
doing
You need to cover for my friend
need to
for
cover
an indeterminate amount of time. You
and
just gotta cook.
just
You'll get paid.
Okay. Okay. Oh, um, so I guess do a we're gonna do a general persuasion roll here.
Okay.
But I'm gonna give you advantage because you've already started off with Eno starting it. So because Eno is kind of started to grease the wheels a little bit here.
That's a 14.
14. The Sahar is just yeah, I guess that would work for the time being.
Yeah, see, you got your cook covered. We'll be back at some point.
And he glances
You'll be
around
fine.
the room, and he looks at you, and he looks at you, Drenmai, kind of like askance skeptically, and then he looks to the back of the room, and here's Kotz looking sad but hopeful, right? Big, big fearful girl, and then Thunuk, I'm sure being just, the emotive hugger that
Thunuk.
Thunuk is. And then there's just Hugon standing there with the dead look in his eyes that's normally there. The look saying, she's coming. She's coming with us. We cannot hear you.
He's muted. There you go.
I didn't say anything.
Still can't
Didn't say
hear.
anything.
And he's just like, okay, we'll figure out a way to make this happen. I
I'm
hope
already
that
ignoring her.
I hope that you
her,
can have her back by Knives Grave, please. Just okay.
Yeah, totally ignoring. I'm pulling on Cot, like trying to pull down to my level so I can have an ear.
And it's hunker down, hunker down, hunker down, hunker down.
Yeah. Can you get some of those mushrooms before we leave?
The mushrooms are coming with me. I don't let anyone else have this box.
Okay, good. Is it? And
she's like still squatting down, and she
Okay.
looks up at you, and she's like,
yeah.
Can I stand up now? Is this?
Guys, this is normal. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not used to dealing with people this size. She's very
What do you
small.
mean? Yeah.
Well, usually they're like us, or for the last 30 years, they've been much, much bigger.
Okay.
Do I have to stay down here all the time now?
No. Though she may try climbing on you, and like ride you.
Does it
because
hurt?
Our legs. No, it's
Okay.
like a squirrel.
Oh,
yeah,
well, that's okay.
Yeah, it's our legs are very long, so when we start walking, she kind of gets left behind, so
Okay.
she might climb on us.
That sounds fine.
It's easier.
And she looks at, she goes, "You can ride, if you need."
I don't know. It's almost like this bond that I've got with Sanook now, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's like when you've had that car for a while. It's yours.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, no, I don't want to have a new version or something. No,
I like this car.
So
I
Sonic
like
is the dinky old Ford Taurus from the '90s who has managed to limp along, and you're like, yeah, this is my ride.
It's the
You have
88.
certain things in the glove compartment.
You know exactly. You know every
have
sound.
A certain odor. Yeah. And you don't care if it's a shitty looking one. You don't care if it looks amazing. You're like, it's mine.
There's butt grooves right where you need them in that driver's seat. Or in this case, there's probably like butt grooves like in like the top of Thunuk's backpack, from like.
I like being able to climb into the backpack and find random food. I don't know if she has the same kind of accommodations that I would require.
I suspect actually that Drenmai has modified the backpack so that the top of it, there's like a seat.
We're gonna have to.
Oh yeah.
I think that's gonna be something we have to deal with in season 3, and like what modifications have possibly happened to this backpack, unbeknownst to Thunuk. Has it turned into like a go-go gadget thing, or we just don't know it yet, or I don't know. We might have to
Explore that.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I think we just found the theme for the entirety of season 3. What's going on with Thunuk's backpack? We're gonna shrink all you guys down, and the adventure is getting out of it. Giant snakes everywhere. Okay, so she gets her things, which is a pack not as robust as Thunuk's. but large, and looks like pretty much everything she needs is contained in one way, shape, or form in this large pack, which might have actually been like more like a gunny sack at some point, like a very large like grain sack. Like a few of them have been sewn together. Um, uh, and she's of, we never discussed it, but she's of the same height as Thunuk, give or take. Um, so the gentle trunks are a tall people. So, but she has all of her things. It's not nearly as much as what like Thunuk has stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So, but hers is a little bit more compact. She hasn't been on the road quite as long as our gentle capybara boy. So, and she says, "Okay, I'm ready. What do we need to do?"
Uh, Mostly walk. Oh, wait, no. Map. We should look at these maps real quick. Yeah, map is what a thing you write. Right. Okay, so you know when we're on, you know how like when you're walking around and you know a tree and that tree is how you know you're near a thing or that rock.
Oh, like when I'm near Steve, I know that I can go to the brook near Steve.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now imagine if we put that down on a piece of paper
Okay.
so other people can understand it.
But what happens if
That's a
Steve
map.
falls down?
Well, I guess you just have to scratch out Steve off the map.
Oh. That's time consuming. How do you keep track of all the trees then?
Um,
Do you have all the trees on this map?
I have trees of note. I'll show you. And he breaks out the map, and he breaks out the with and the overlay map, like the semi-transparent piece of sheet that also goes over it that we have for figuring out where the shadow gates are. And he says, "Okay, so this is us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is here is that
He's
big
got
rock.
a little star on the map. You are here.
And this is that big rock that looks like one of those big spiky beetles that tastes really good.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in common, so just so everyone knows.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and he looks at Hugon. Are you sure you don't want to? You don't? Have you ever eaten big spiky
Shut
beetle?
up. We're not having this conversation.
It's tasty.
I don't care. I will never want to eat a goddamn spider or a goddamn beetle.
What
Okay.
if there wasn't anything else to eat? Like, what if that was the only thing that you had to eat for like a week? You know, you couldn't eat. There wasn't anything else.
That's
All
a
there
different
was was
story.
spider legs. Then you would eat it then.
If I had to or die, yes.
Never say never.
So you're
Okay.
saying there's a chance.
Oh God.
In any case, I really would appreciate it if you would stop asking me.
We're gonna starve Hugon.
I just don't understand. Okay, never mind. So this is the rock that looks like one of those big ones, but it's like it's like 3 times bigger than us. Remember that one, that rock?
Oh yeah.
So okay, this is where we are. That's where that rock is.
Mm-hmm.
So you get how big this space is.
Mm.
All right, now where on here do we have to go?
And she points excuse me, she points to the mountains that border the Chandlewood runs from northwest to the southeast. And this is on the northern/eastern border. The mountains that you probably have labeled on there as the Merthwatch.
Okay.
And so it's basically on the opposite side of the Chandlewood from Pinedale, which you probably would think is fortunate that you didn't want, stone giants living above Pinedale.
That'd be bad.
That would be bad. Generally speaking. It's bad for real estate values. You know,
Mhm.
zoning. There's zoning issues galore. You know, there's not good adjacencies there.
You don't get your hex bonus from Civ.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You don't. It's tough to get. It's tough to get the neighborhoods to pop. You know, when they're constantly being razed to the ground by flying boulders. You know, this. It's. You know. Um, so fortunately, it's on the opposite side of that, and she points, like, um, generally where you would need to go, where she remembers walking a little bit. She's like looking, okay, there's that rock, and I remember, all right, and she's like asking you questions like about certain trees and rocks and mosses of note, and
Mhm.
where, and she's like, but you know where, like, there's like, you know, like the really big thick earthworms, but the ones that have that one blue stripe, they only, you can only find them like, do you remember where that
Yes.
one? Okay, yeah, that
Yes.
one. And so she's
Yudon is like rubbing his temples, like, oh my fucking god, I hate this. Just constantly like, please, let's get through this.
and so she's like asking you like about different ephemera because it's how you identify. Oh, this tree has like this kind of leaf shape, but it's next to this tree that has this, and you're able to eventually through helping her with this, you're able to narrow it down to where the where the best gate would be,
Mhm.
which is still like right where the Chandlerwood would meet the Marith Watch. Um, and she says, I think this is where I remember because there. I remember walking through the village right there. There's a little village right there.
In in Stay Newton territory?
Well, it's they don't they hide really good.
Oh,
They
well, that's
they
good.
they 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 do a really good job of hiding.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's why. I mean, you got to be careful, and you can't tell them. You can't tell the Stein Newton where they are
Of
because that would
course
be
not.
bad. But
Yeah.
but
Well, they can't do anything if they're all dead.
who?
The Stein Newton,
Oh
whoever they are.
oh, is that your plan?
That's
Well,
generally how these plans turn out, is
Oh
that usually a lot of people die. Like an awful lot.
well, they are jerks.
they're big jerks.
They're they're big jerks
They're very big jerks.
in every way. They're big jerks.
Yes.
And she turns to you, Hugon. She goes, "And you kill big jerks?"
Among other things. Yeah.
Trent's like, he is a big jerk. Really under the breath.
And she says, "Okay, yeah, I think if we go there, we can go there, and then it's it's one thunuk to walk there.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay. That's not bad.
yeah. So yeah, so we yeah, if we do that, we can get there in one thunuk.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a faster way though.
No, no,
You
I
mean it's
mean,
one thing? You mean from there? From
yeah,
this
yeah,
spot?
from yeah. If we get to this spot,
Oh.
and when
Okay.
you find on the map is there's actually a gate that leads like to like by best reckoning within like an hour or two of oh
Oh, we lost clues.
we almost made it to the end of the game. Um,
Oh.
2 minutes!
2 minutes left. So I'm not gonna even bother resetting everything at the moment. So yeah, she says we have one. I think once we get there, it'll be yeah, we can do that. And so you see, there's a gate like right there that you could get to town like right away. Like you can get like you would be within hours of that town.
Okay. All right. Um, and he points at the map. This is where we have to go, guys. Um,
That's nowhere near Candlekeep.
I don't know where Candlekeep is, so
The
I'm going to
opposite
say
direction.
okay.
And he like pointedly looks at Dren, who unfortunately can't respond right now.
She just smiles.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Contract.
Eno
And
says,
she just mouths contract.
Eno looks at Hugon and says, "Hey, friend needs help. You help him."
Oh, I know. We're contractually obligated to help.
Contractually obligated friendship.
I wanted to get to Candlekeep next too, but it's okay. We'll make it. We'll make it there.
Maybe the Giants or whoever the fuck these things are have treasure. Maybe we'll come out on top. Does Stein Newton usually have treasure?
They're greedy jerks.
No treasure.
Coins, shiny
Gold.
rocks.
Oh, shiny things.
Yeah.
Oh, rooms full of them.
Yeah.
They don't even use them. They just put them in rooms and just leave them there.
Good, then this will be profitable.
Okay.
They're big, they're smelly, and they're greedy, and they're dumb. And yeah.
Okay. Shall we go? We can go
Yes.
we can get Mom and Dad and Kronk and the rest.
If
Yes.
they're alive,
Oh,
They're probably alive.
probably. Is
Yeah.
not the same thing as definitely.
Um,
and the ears
Probably.
the ears drop and then they go back up and then they drop again. It's like
and he puts his arm around. It's like they're alive. Let's go.
okay.
Did you have like a weapon or something you need to bring with you? Do you want a stick? Big stick?
No, I was able to. I took a stick for a walking stick before I left, and she
Okay.
reaches around the bag, and she pulls out this white staff that has like this almost looks like root structure at the top with like a jewel encrusted into it.
It's what the fuck? What was his name?
That sounds like freaking Gandalf's staff.
No,
at the
it's
beginning of
it's a
Loader.
branch from the tree Nimloth or something like that.
I have this.
That looks like more than a stick, but it looks very handy. It's
Mm-hmm.
also kind of neat. It's neat looking.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, let's go then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go up to the
Before we
before. Okay.
Hugon like pointedly taps his mask and goes, "This is coming with us. Is that going to be a problem?"
And
Because if it doesn't come with us, we don't save your family.
and she says, I understand, but if we're able to do this, I think we need to have. I want to talk to you about it, and I need to make sure it's you I'm having the conversation with.
Trust me, you'll know the difference.
Okay. But you do notice that when you walk, she's like, you feel like it's changed from ire to empathy now. But she is now
Which is even worse.
But she works to like she's always making sure she's on the opposite side of the group from you. Like she doesn't want to walk. There's adjacency issues. There's always at least a one person buffer. So you gather your things. You get the food and water you will need for your journey. All of the usual adventuring accoutrement, and you get back to the large boulder on the edge of town. Thunuk, you're able to tap in the directions. Gate opens up. You enter in, and as you exit the other side, the site that you see is where, according to the map, it was still in the Chandlewood, and there is this village supposedly somewhere. But now, what looks to be for acres upon acres from the edge of the Marith Watch, and it looks like it goes on past where this ancient rock where you're emerging from is. The trees are just absolutely blasted and flat, against the ground. Old, and they look withered and dried and dead, like they've been that way for some time. Um, there's various. It looks like almost like scorch marks along the ground, and it is dead silent. You hear no birds, no forest animals, um, except for the only sound is the cold wind blowing through these old, or at least old looking trees, and their dead branches as they rattle against each other like bleached bones in the sun. And that is where we will end
Sorry.
season 2. So, for the folks, yay! For the folks who, for the folks who joined us on the stream today, thank you very much. We are going to be right back with our table talk session, where we will discuss employees of note. We will discuss old business and new business. And but if you need to take off, we completely understand. Hey, Clues is back just in time. If you
Yay.
do have to leave and not stick around for table talk, we completely understand. Make sure to follow us at Eat Drink Roll on Twitter and on Instagram, so that way when we make the announcement for when season 3 starts, you can be sure to tell all of your friends how much fun they're missing by not having watched. They can catch up on old episodes on our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to know when we start the next season of shenanigans. Just to put a fine point on it, we have approximately over 72 hours worth of 72 hours worth of D&D that we've collectively played over 2 seasons.
Really?
So
That's a lot of D&D.
3 solid days. 3 solid days of D&D, essentially. So, anyway, we will be right back with Table Talk, so stick around.
Probably talk.
Hello, we're back with the table talk. Right as a car drives by.
Oh, interesting timing.
It was
You have
perfect
such
time.
a busy ear.
You know what? But it's only when I have a hot mic. When not, it's it's quiet. But the second one of my microphones is on, where I got to record something, the other day I had a helicopter flying over the house. These things happen. Anyway, I've done a whole bunch of videos on the shit that happens every time I try to record. But anyway, hey, that, like I said, that was the end of season 2. I'm glad we finally got a chance to end season 2 between holidays and PAXs and life. I'm certainly glad we got a chance to put a proper punctuation point on this season. It is Raz's first full season with us, which was a delight to have you join the cast this year. Looking forward to more shenanigans in the coming year.
You said this year, and I was like, so next year, bye.
No, so, but, hit the button, drops out. No.
Like,
Not welcome.
But unfortunately,
Wow.
you did not win Dungeons & Dragons in time, so...
Oh man.
So close. But we have some lovely parting
This
gifts.
damn die, man.
Yeah, we're going to have to have some serious... I think we're going to have some tweets at Norse Foundry for that, and I'm sure... Anyway,
balance.
listen, guys. I'm not saying cheat. I'm just saying just a little bit in my favor. Just a
My
little bit.
ceramic die from them did pretty well tonight.
I have their zinc dice, and I was pleasantly happy with them.
Yeah, that ceramic die when you handed it to me, it was like it wasn't even in my hand. It was so light.
Yeah, I recall Lily being like really like over it.
Yeah.
Like I don't like it.
I want that.
It does feel a little bit like chalk. It does.
Yeah, it does, and the edges are preternaturally sharp.
Ooh, no.
Well, they've
not-
actually gotten really soft.
Oh,
Like just having it in my dice cage was enough
Mm.
to like smooth it, and like it's really weird, but like holding it now, you can feel like the individual imperfections on each surface.
Ooh, what do we have there?
Oh.
Oh, look what she
Hey!
has. Hey, is there any way that you can... So what we're looking at now for those in the podcast is Gideon had a badge holder that he got
Which
from...
is badass.
little tentacles and things that you got from Elderwood Academy from the first PAX or second PAX?
Very first unplugged.
Very first unplugged. And unfortunately, it caught on something, and I know the tentacle broke, and you got it fixed, right? Clues. Is there any way you can further reinforce that? Is there like you can like dip that in metal or something so that way it becomes impervious?
Bronze it.
imbue its skeleton with
If you want me
adamantium.
to, I can.
Oh,
It's not
hold on
that
now.
difficult.
But I'm glad it was saved. But we need to do.
Technically, if it ever gets broken, I can redo the whole thing.
We are going to do old business and employees of note, and we're going to start in quadrant 2, which is our aforementioned blind cleric. So,
Employees of note.
employees of note, moments of the game, anything like that.
Well, I mean, obviously we got to shout out to the Thinnock soup jingle.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
It's fucking choice. I mean, what else can you say? The sister reveal, that was pretty interesting, and like how completely inappropriately stoned Thunuk was for it. It's just really everyone being stoned. That was pretty great. Like the getting to watch like the prestidigitation, cleaning of the threads, the Thunuk like just laughing at everything. Drin being super disrespectful to like a family heirloom. It was good.
Oh yeah,
It's good. It's all
Dren
good.
does not have many filters in
No,
life.
Drin's just a bad person.
Objectively
I don't think
speaking.
she tends to be bad. It's just that she
Well, no, I
just
mean-
doesn't really
Oh, what-
get to those social cues.
Dren might be on the spectrum. We don't know.
Yeah,
And there's
it's
nothing
not
wrong with
really
that.
You never know.
Well, moving in a anti-clockwise direction,
That's you.
it brings us
I'm
to
not-
our to the mighty yawn.
Gabs, you caught me in the middle of a
Okay.
very quiet giant yawn there for a moment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very Thunuk yawn.
Like a bear.
I was trying very hard to be quiet. Yeah, Dremai was a very, very busy with the hustle today. Um, I a lot of good stuff there. I especially like the I forget the actual name of the spell, but spider climb.
Spider climb.
Yeah,
Yep, spider climb.
the application of spider climb. That was good. I like that.
Anytime that I get the level, it's like, okay, what can I add to the chaos of this character? Spider climb is definitely a choice.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Clues.
I think my favorite part is, even though, so it shows like the little glimmer of a hope of a friendship between Dren and Hugon,
Mm-hmm.
because he's carrying around the stool that Dren modified like forever ago. So it's still like, it may be his and he's like, this is mine, but it's something that Dren made.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like somewhere like deep buried. There's
Deeply buried.
deep.
Before he had a chance to know you.
Yeah.
I could probably be friends. Oh fuck, no way.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
like
I. Oh shit.
Maybe I was wrong here. Maybe we can't
maybe
be
I was
friends.
wrong. But
Yeah.
no, it's for Dren, it's like that almost sentimental. Like when I went to notice and I saw that the stool was gone, and it's like, oh, Hugon has it. It's like, ah. So yeah, that was kind of fun.
Okay. Hey Eno. Hey what?
Hey, yeah. Man, there's a few good moments. I liked when Dren was trying to steal the box of mushrooms. That was
Got a root.
good.
Root.
And NPC, Darsh is great. Like Eno has so many little side quests now that he can do.
Side
I've got
quests are
plans.
good.
Yeah, I've got plans for this place.
I got plans. You don't even want to know.
I got plans for this place. Definitely. Gonna have some raves here, with that
Mhm.
soup. It's gonna be great.
Lots of soup. All of the soup. Cool. Anything else?
I'm excited for mushrooms.
Shit's gonna happen. You have no idea. It's a thing.
Yep.
Um,
We're going on a journey. Hugon's gonna get hungry, and Dren is absolutely gonna make a note of the mushrooms.
she's gonna dose him.
I will kill you. I will kill your character. I will kill. Well, no. Here's the thing: if you make Hugon start hallucinating, his response to problems is generally violence.
Oh, I know it.
Oh, but what if we get him like that good sativa though?
No, like, it's
No.
just a bad
Hugon's
idea,
gonna have a
man,
bad
hallucinate.
trip.
Don't give him acid or hallucinogens or psychotropics. It's just gonna be a problem.
I know.
Just all around for everyone.
People will
That's
get
the
hurt.
plan.
People's feelings will get hurt, and people's bodies will get hurt.
I better learn
Luz
calm
knows
emotions.
it's probably a bad idea. Dren thinks it's gonna be hilarious.
Well, we'll just have to see how that plays out. We have lots of things that we're gonna be able to play around with in
I know. I can't
in
wait.
our upcoming season, which I'm
Yeah,
very
I was
much-
actually the whole angle of cat or coat or I don't know how to
Cot.
pronounce it. Cot.
Like you're sleeping in a cot.
Yeah. Her little angle on the mask is pretty cool. I'm interested to see what she thinks.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have some fun with that. So yeah, what do I have here? I gotta say, the role play of Eno and Thunic while tripping balls was chef's kiss. It was perfect. That was amazing. I had a few things here. The family reunion and the laugh was again perfect.
I'd like to thank Roz for getting Enoing at me for a bit to get me in the right headspace for that.
Perfect. And it's what
I'm always ready to vamp for you, brother.
dude, that was ideal. Yeah, and I got again we got So that was, so you got 200 points for being high. You get the plus 200 points for helping him. I mean, the points don't mean anything, but, but it's.
Gryffindor wins.
But
I actually was going the whose line is it anyways?
yeah, and the points mean nothing.
And the points don't matter. So.
Dude, when you jumped in and cleaning up and how you were cleaning up, just the visual of that is just. I love it. Thunuk's reaction to shoes. Always good. Once again, the song. Can't say that enough. I like. I had a little note here for Dren's little plot hook that she dropped for us, where she got lost for a year.
Yeah, I gotta toss that in.
Always good. I love it when we get little plot twists thrown in there.
Backgrounds.
Drenmai had the hustle, as someone said before, of like, hey, no, I know what Hugon needs. He needs a contract. Let me go back over here. Just that running back and forth. It made me a little think about Nog talking about the stream of acquisition in DS9, where he's just wheeling and dealing, and no, you need the desk. I mean, the desk gets us this, and this gets us this, and then we're gonna get everything we need to get done here. So yeah, these were all very fun points. One other thing that I'm gonna be sharing with everyone right now, if everyone could turn their attention.
Hugon let me get away so cheap to that one.
Well, listen. Knowledge is power. Ciencia es
I know.
potencia.
I thought he was gonna do the way of the gold, and since I actually get to keep all of since I'm the hordes person, it's like I was gonna half bullshit it and then half pay it from my own coffers.
I don't think Hugon would ever trust you in any sort of circumstance that would require you giving him anything that was in your power to give. Because he knows you wouldn't do it, or you wouldn't do it the whole way.
There would be, yeah. This is something like
He's no idiot.
He knows that there. Listen, the knowledge, I have to get the knowledge, but the gold, there could be, creative accounting. But what I would like to share with everyone, if you would please turn your attention to the live stream.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh my.
Blah, blah, blah.
Level up.
Level 9.
Man, I get to take new bullshit.
Is it supposed to be doing something?
You didn't see it?
No.
It's doing it right now.
I see nothing.
It says giant level 9 on
the stream.
How delayed is your stream?
On the Twitch.
Clearly
on the
a
Twitch
lot,
stream.
'cause this is
on the
It's
Twitch
on
stream.
there. Right. Yeah.
Lots of
be like-
bumps are going on now.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is.
Time delay.
That was weird.
All of our players have, or of our characters rather, well, our players in general, but the characters have leveled up to level 9, so they will be starting season
Were
3
we already
Nice.
level 9?
and level
I
8.
thought we were going to be 10.
They'll be starting, and as we know, if you look at
Nice
your
try.
player's manual, I'm going to bring this up just for the folks that may not be as initiated, because it's always good information. Level 9, generally speaking
y'all.
here. Let's see.
Y'all are gonna hate Dren.
I hate Dren. It's not gonna be-
I already do.
It's just like, you're just going to increase the hate.
So level 9,
This is
proficiency
good.
bonus goes up by 1
It's a 4.
to a
For
plus
everybody.
4. In addition to that, generally speaking, with all of your class features, level 9 is where new things unlock. There's usually, it looks like, in fact, the spellcasters in the group now will have a 1 5th level spell slot.
Yeah. Oh, trust me.
And 5th level
The chaos.
gets bonkers when you start getting some fun shit at level 9.
5th level magic is right where the steady climb
Mhm.
stops being steady, and it's just like
It's
in
power.
terms of
Yeah,
power.
let's put it this way. One of the spells that I would have access to is called Dominate Person.
Oh
And I
dear
like,
lord! Wall of
That's a
stone.
really messed up spell to begin with, but really powerful.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at some. I'm just looking at some. Oh, there's a list here somewhere. I know they have it broken down. Here we go. So our
I do have access to teleportation circle as well.
Ooh, me too.
Yeah, but that seems more like a you thing than me.
sorcerers
Yeah.
get animate objects, cloud kill. God damn it, cloud kill. I don't even know what that
Cloud
is.
Kill's fucking
Cone
cruel.
of cold,
It's cruel.
creation. Dear
No,
fucking god.
no. Here's the best one: insect plague.
That one's bad too. That's bad.
Seeming.
I got that one.
I love that one.
Seeming, telekinesis,
Seeming's
teleportation
fun,
circle,
but-
wall of stone.
All
Our
of Stone is good.
cleric
Mhm.
gets a choice of one of these: commune or commune,
Oh,
contagion.
I don't get a choice.
He gets
I get them
everything.
all.
Oh, you
And then I
Clerics get everything on that list. They just have
Yeah.
to prepare.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So,
Dispel,
like-
Evil and Good. Flame Strike. Gaius?
Mhm.
Is that how you say that? Gaius?
Geese.
Geese?
Geese.
Yes.
Not, but not geese like the way Thilnik would want geese.
No, not like Canadian asshole.
Yeah, not like the jerks.
Oh, not Canadian asshole geese.
Greater Restoration, Hallow, Insect Plague, Legend Lore, Mass Cure Wounds, Planar Binding, Raise Dead, Scrying. And what does our bard
He
get?
raised dead.
Oh, I get two other things because my nature domain cleric.
Yeah.
I get insect plague and tree stride.
Tree
God.
Stride's
What is-
gross. That's a druid. That's a
Stride.
high level druid spell.
Yeah.
Our bardy bard gets, again, this is 5th level, animate objects, awaken, dominate person, dream, geese,
He gets awakened?
greater restoration, hold monster, legend lore, mass cure wounds, mislead, oh god, modify memory, cheers, planar binding, raise dead, scrying, seeming, teleport, dear god.
I forgot legend lore was a thing.
What is awaken?
Awaken is I take a dumb thing and like give it sentience, like a tree or a rock or an animal.
Ooh.
Yeah, or a golem or like anything that doesn't have a mind suddenly now gets to happen.
So
At least it was
basically,
that way.
the cast of Toy Story. That's how the.
Oh god.
Wow.
It'd be such a hard choice.
Like if you awaken a tree, suddenly you have a treant.
Now, the upside for me, however, as a dungeon master, is I get to start going through all of these books now and start looking at monsters that before would have been like, well, fuck. Now, all those monsters, I'm saying that, but it's more because of just the way the chipper shredder that I would be throwing them into. It means that I can throw it, but but again, I'm not. I think if we look at the totality of the campaign, I've never been one just to start. You know, we've never been chock full of monsters, right? But it does mean that, narratively speaking, I could throw some cool ones at you now, and I'm gonna have to recalibrate that whole scale.
Fighters get some cool stuff too.
Oh yeah, okay. What do the fighters get? Because we were focusing on the spells. What are some of the things that fighters get at level
If I
9?
recall correctly, I get a second fighting style.
Ooh, let's take a look
Second
at that.
fighting style?
Like for instance, I'm a battle master right now. I think I get access to another one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. Let's look at the old player's hand. This is like half the reason why we do this is just because we want to crack open the book again. Hear that spine crackle as it opens. Druid.
I'm having like so being torn on 2 of these spells.
Fighter at level 9. Hang on, level 9 plus 4 proficiency bonus. Features Indomitable, 1 use.
Oh yeah.
Fighting style. Hang on. When do you get your second fighting style?
It could have already happened and I just
Let's
forgot.
see. Ability score, martial archetype feature, ability score, Indomitable.
It would be martial archetype feature.
So you would have taken that at level 7,
Oh.
and the next one's at level 10. So, oh, good, because you haven't dealt it enough damage as it is already. It's like, oh, I only did 80 damage this turn with all the free actions and bonus actions and all that.
Listen,
Now I
my
get to do it even more.
My average is 54.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, it's not 80.
Oh, the bard gets a Song of Rest, which is a D8. I guess D8 healing. 12 known spells now, dear God. 3 cantrips, which you've had for a little bit. The cleric. This is all just fun. I've never had a campaign where the players
There's some good stuff.
got stuck around this far. The cleric. Oh, the cleric gets nothing at level 9. No, seriously, gets
Cleric
nothing.
Cleric becomes like from like like little
Except
baby
for-
larval cleric.
Oh
to,
shit!
like
No, it's one.
Fist of the Lord cleric.
But I think the thing is that because the cleric probably has all of the
All the spells.
spells that you have to balance that because the next level 10 is divine intervention,
Oh yeah, it's
which
fucking
I've heard them. But I've heard that's actually a hard one to kind of pull off because there's like a lot of rolling that's not in your favor about that. I've in Critical Role they've had Amy Johnson's characters tried invoking that a few times to no effect.
My understanding is that's basically the cleric's equivalent of wild magic, but like good stuff can happen to you.
Pretty much, yeah. But you can only like use it once. You can as opposed to wild magic where it's not you don't invoke it. It just sort of happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at the sorcerer. Let's see what the sorcerer happens at. That's the rogue. Here we go at level 9. Again, nothing happens. 10 spells known, +4. But there's got to be something else to that. Well, it's because at level 10 they get meta magic. What the fuck is meta magic?
Oh, I think if you get to flavor your spell.
Meta magic is like maximize spell, shape spell, sculpt spell,
Jesus
invisible
Christ.
spell, widen, extend, enlarge.
Oh my god,
all the stuff.
Insane.
Gets kind of nasty.
Yeah. Oof. But they also
Actually,
the fun thing now is I get to when I'm rolling for certain NPCs, I also get to roll basically new characters and start them at a good level. So okay, lots of fun shenanigans will be happening in
Somebody's trying to find a source book.
Oh, what do we have? Oh, he's got his. What do we got there? What do we have? What are we looking at
What
here?
source book did we grab?
Oh, player's handbook.
Okay.
My player's handbook. I don't have the Eberron one yet. I really should get it. We also need to double check to see what we get from the Acq-Inc side of things.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a look at this. Is that level based?
It can be.
Well,
Some of
that's
it
for the
is, some of
jobs,
it's not.
right? Let's see. Let's take a look here at the jobs. So let's see. Let's take a look at one of the jobs here. We have a cartographer. Let's see what the cartographer gets. If the cartographer, in fact, gets anything. Let's see. It looks like... It looks like it's all based on the franchise rank.
Right, which is kind of directly based off of our level, I thought.
Let me see
It might
here.
not be. I could
Let
be
me
wrong.
take a look. Listen, I have not had a chance to dive into this source book nearly as much. Franchise advancement. Here we go. Page 9. So you put it right up there in the beginning. Oh. So you guys are a franchise level 2. Because the franchise levels up with the characters. You were right at level 5. So you start at level 1. You're at level 5. You guys got to level 2. So you need to make sure heading into the next season, if we haven't, because this is all still new to us. We're still working our way through this. That you take whatever level 2 options you have with your
territory,
jobs.
4 untrained hirelings, 1 skilled hireling, 10 crew.
We're gonna have to. Well, this will all be in the off season when on the between seasons. We'll figure out how we're gonna flavor all of this for you and all that. No, but level 11 is when you reach franchise rank 3.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to dive back into this because there's so much more. I gave it a glance. Started reading through the adventure in the back because I would love to run that at some point. But yeah.
I might. I'm trying to decide. I've been thinking about for a while if I want a multi-class, and I haven't decided yet.
Oh, that's something to think of as well. Again,
I might do it after level 10. I'm not sure.
Because I think a few people have mentioned multi-classing, which is we can always talk about that. I always like the idea of waiting to multi-class until later though, because you start doing it too soon.
For sure.
It's just like, oh well, now I have everything. Okay.
Can we all just take a moment that I'm waiting for us to get to level 14, because at level 14 I gain the ability to sprout a pair of dragon wings.
Oh shit!
What?
I don't. It's something with rock gnomes and stuff, and because
I hate
we have
you.
we have draconic ancestry technically, so I don't, it's this weird.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
kind of weird.
God.
Like, oh, sorcerers get wings.
Yeah.
All right. Well, fuck. Okay.
I just can't wait.
Oh my
'cause
God.
I want it to be like one of those things like it's not known to Dren either. It's just like poof,
Oh my
wake up.
god, I have
Like,
wings
oh.
now. You know what I'm looking forward to? When that fucking ancient dragon comes to call and is like,
Oh,
you
I
give me
know.
what you owe me. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
Um, yeah. So we have lots of. There's going to be. We're going to be redoing the. We're going to be redoing the. Overlay.
Overlay.
We're going to have new theme music. If I get my act together, there'll be some animations. If I can get my time squared away next year, I'd honestly like to run.
For
I've
real.
got- well, I'd honestly like.
Not you, I'm just saying time in general.
no,
like,
no,
the
yeah.
squaring away of time
Yeah.
sucks.
There are 3 different module adventures that I would love to run at some point. It would have to be starting at level 1. Not so. I'd love to run the Ravnica campaign. The mini campaign they have in Ravnica. I would love to run the Acq-Inc campaign as something. And I would love to run. This is one. The Princes of
You
the
still have it.
Apocalypse.
You still have that Exalin one.
I do have that. This was a freebie if you went to the keynote speech at PAX Unplugged 2017, the first one. It was much easier to get to because you just walked across the convention floor and it was right there. Now, it's like so far away. But terrible acoustics. But there's also the Princes of the Apocalypse is another one I would love to run.
I have been informed that my schedule may be opening up on Saturdays.
Ooh. Well, we'll have to
On
see.
My
Saturday?
schedule might be opening up on Saturdays. So I might actually not be working all the damn time.
Ooh.
So that might open the door for some Star Wars.
Ooh. We have.
Ooh.
Listen. More games is better.
More games is better.
Is always gooder. More games is gooder.
Gooder. You're
what-
right. You're right. It's
It is
gooder.
gooder. More gooder. Okay. So are we? Are we seeing? We're probably not seeing Late to the Game this week. I'm guessing with Christmas Eve and all.
No, I will be observing Christmas Eve, making sure my ancestors don't come out of their graves and eat me.
Amazing.
We're gonna need to dive
Amazing.
into that later. Any other announcements from anyone that we need to get to before we sign off for 2019?
Not that I can.
Eat more
think
ice cream?
of.
Eat more
I
ice cream.
just bought Snickers ice cream today.
Drink more eggnog?
Don't like eggnog.
You're wrong.
What's wrong with just whiskey?
Oh,
Nothing.
wait, hang on. Point. Counterpoint. Yes, I hear you, but whiskey.
Yeah, but just whiskey.
So once again, I would ask that for the folks who stuck around, the best thing you could possibly do. We truly, truly, truly appreciate you going on this adventure with us for however long you've been with us, whether it's been since day one or whether it's been just this year. Any of
Or a
these
few
things,
hours ago.
or just even just today, we're truly, truly grateful that you have elected to spend some of your time with us. The best thing you could do is please share us with friends. Tweet about us. Try to get more people. We'd love to have a couple more people come around. We actually had people come to us this year. I don't know if anyone else experienced this, where it was like, "Hey, wait, you guys are you're the Team X game, right?" Yeah, that happened on more than one. I think it happened with Clues and I. I know it happened with Roz and I, where at least once someone's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
aren't you guys on Team X?"
Neat.
Starting to get that brand recognition.
Yeah,
boys.
one of our fan was talking about us.
Okay, cool.
One of
Yeah.
our fan.
we had a fan or two.
Listen, I'm all for it.
It's awesome. But we make sure to follow us at Eat Drink Roll on the tweet zors so we can tell you when we will be going, when our season premiere will be at some point in January. Probably after when's South.
Like
You
next
had the
month.
tags right there.
It's like in a week. It's a
I
week
said
or so.
January
It's-
17th through
Oh,
19th.
Yeah.
I thought you were like
Give
saying
it
I
a
don't know.
second.
No, right here. And I like how pretty they are.
Ah.
So it'll likely be after South because otherwise Clues will die. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Probably.
Anyway, so
I mean, at any time after, like, wait for it, after the 4th, I'm okay.
we'll figure it out. Any rate, everyone, thank you very much again for watching. We truly, truly appreciate you. Have a great holiday, however you choose to celebrate, and we will see you in the new year. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.